All right, guys, here we go. Another crazy night on the Flipside show. We've got DS Comics in the house. We have got a crazy foreign comic auction. We've got IG comic book talk and comic book sales, and of course, the market report. Stick around.
You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Monday night with the crew. I've got P-Dubs in the house. I've got John Z, Dino, Flipside CEOs in the house. And of course, like I said, guys, we're really stoked to have DS Comics in the house. We're a big fan of you, brother, and we really appreciate you coming on, man.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. I love this show. I try to get on here in the chat when I can, and it's such good content. And I noticed I've been checking out your show for a while, and it's been getting bigger and bigger, and more people showing up. And I love the content, and I love all you guys are so awesome. So I'm honored to be here and humbled that you guys are happy to have me on here. So this is exciting. I'm super pumped about it.
Hell yeah. All right, real quick, before we get into the main topic at hand tonight, I want to remind everybody that we appreciate all you live viewers. We appreciate the viewers that don't catch it live. And I've been getting some comments about, giveaways and stuff. And don't worry, we're not going to forget you guys that catch it on the rewind. We've got some stuff coming for you. But also remember, we always do giveaways on the show. And you never know when a giveaway like this is going to pop up. So it might be tonight. It might be the next show on the Flipside channel. It might be Comic Book Women tomorrow night. You never know when it's going to be. So make sure you guys watch live if you can. And if you can watch live, hit the comments, hit the bell, subscribe, stay active in the live chat, and you might win one of those amazing books. So, all right, let's get into this. IG comic book community. Like the IG comic community has really grown over the last year and a half. We all know why, I think, mainly, but I don't care. I love the excitement in any comic book community, and I don't know, would you guys call the IG, kind of a third market? Is that considered the third market also? I think so.
Parts of it are.
Facebook. It definitely has a growing market. I mean, it's not merely, I've been on there. I'm looking like one of my earliest posts is December of 18. I think I had a couple before that I deleted because they were embarrassingly bad. But it's definitely a community. It's definitely a community, but I feel like the selling has been ramping up exponentially over time that I consider it a legit market to buy and sell books. So yeah, it's getting there. I mean, it's sort of just the Wild West, but there's a level of trust there that's absent in a lot of other places.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a good point. Is like there's some guys that are pretty good scammer kind of watchers, like the IG sheriff, is that his name? And some of those other ones that, like, if somebody sees a scammer, they're putting them on blast. So they try and keep it safe as they can.
Well, not only that, I think that there's the community aspect has been. It's grown immensely, and there is a community aspect there that I don't. It's a weird community aspect. Like, I didn't expect it to be as big as it was, and you've got new people joining every day, and the hobby every day. So I think it's kind of important to have groups of people that say, "Hey, this is what is really going on," or "This is our opinions on this," and "Hey, watch out for this," because there's so many new people in this hobby, especially new young people. Because of the social media platforms we're using, IG, Facebook. I mean, there's probably people on TikTok already. You know what I mean? Like, these places are growing in our community, and also growing just in general with a lot of young people.
Yeah, another thing I want to say about Instagram, it's becoming a bigger seller's market and buyer's market for books. And part of the reason is because there's a really good supporting structure of the community where, like, they'll call out scammers. Any scam gets identified quickly and spread around. the information, especially I see it from moderns discussing, key collector app controversies and second printings and hot variants, all the way to gold, like deep into golden age, rare stuff, the info, the trust. It's sort of like a CGC boards 2.0. And I'm not a big fan of the boards. Even though I'm in golden age, there's a lot of guys that I'm friends with that are active on the boards. I'm not a big fan of the boards. It's too 1995 message board for me. But that's why the boards are so popular with those who are on it, because the level of trust, the level of information, and that is what Instagram is sort of like a modern, newer, high-tech version of that. So you can find your information, you can make friends, and you can buy and sell books, and you can trust the people that you're dealing with because you sort of get to know them personally. It's not just this, humanless interface like Comic Link auction or an eBay or something like that. It's really the community aspect is why the marketplace on there is growing so quickly.
Oh, and most of us came from Google Plus. I don't know if you were ever on there, DS, but a lot of us came there, and that had a really tight knit aspect. Instagram's kind of like that closest thing that I've encountered to that. I mean, Facebook is so many people on there that it's almost hitting you over the head with all of the content. It's too much. It's too many people. And there's no unified kind of thing. There's some groups on there that are okay, but some of them are so big, they're not productive.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can come in and post a couple of books that you like and find the right hashtags, and you can find your kind of people right away. I mean, you said you got on in 18. I think I got on in the beginning of 19. And I remember you were one of the first people that popped up kind of on my feed, a couple other guys. And it's like, it does the work for you to kind of find those people that you're going to have in common pretty well once you figure out the basics. So it is impressive.
It's definitely user friendly. I'm a low tech person. I consider myself starting to become old and curmudgeon-y and grumpy, and I'm not into all this tech crap. And when I first got on Instagram, a couple people that I knew from YouTube, which I was on before Instagram, were telling me, you need to get on Instagram. And I went in there and I was lost. I'm like, well, how do I find books? How do I find this stuff? And they're like, man, just get some hashtags. So I asked the wife, I'm like, hey, what's a hashtag? And she's trying to explain it to me. And I'm like, what? You just put a pound sign in front of it? She's like, no, that's a hashtag. I'm like, with the pound sign? I guess nobody calls it pound sign anymore. But you put a pound sign in front of a word, and then anything with anybody else who uses it will come up. And I'm like, what do I use? And she's like, anything. I'm like, well, where's the list of them? And it's like, there's no list. You can just make up your own. I'm like, well, where do I go to create it? How are people, you know what I mean? Ooh,
yeah.
Within a day or two, you figure it out. You just hashtag Spider-Man, and then there's millions of people that put that, and all of a sudden your feed is flooded with stuff. So
it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because just today, shout out to Kyle from the Modern Comic Mayhem crew. He was hitting me up and he's like, I got this great idea. Actually, it was in our meeting the other night, our Flipside show meeting. And he's like, I'm going to have my kid. She's going to do my IG. I'm going to pay her with like stuff that she wants. I'm going to get her some AirPods and have her do my Instagram. And he had her come over during the meeting and talk to us a little bit. And he said she was laughing so hard at us for how we were talking about Twitch and Instagram, because it sounded like we didn't know the thing about it. And I felt like, I feel like I know a little bit about it. And Kyle's like, she thought we were so silly. And it's weird because now we're our parents, and, telling people about listening to records and stuff. It feels so weird to me, but you're 100% right that it's easy enough to just ask somebody and figure it out. And you don't have to learn, you don't have to be a coder. People are really daunted by technology, and there's technology out there that you just learn a few simple things and you figure it out. It all falls into place. So that's one of the things I want to talk about is, you brought it up, is how people are so daunted by the newer technology because they feel we're old and we can't get into it. Well, at some point, don't you have to jump in head first if you want to even survive in this hobby?
Yeah. I mean, especially with Instagram, like the thing I like about Instagram is like when I joined, like I'm not the biggest poster. I mean, like, I share a lot of stuff for the podcast and stuff, but what I usually do is I like the grid view. So like if I see like a tag and then that tag turns into a grid view, I can just swipe and like, oh, I can see everything. I don't have to like go through every post, click on it. Like, oh, if I see something interesting, I can click on it. Like I bought a bunch of comics on Instagram. It's not terrible. Like, I mean, everybody's pretty cool with each other. It's a great platform. And you know, there is a I'll hit you up later. There's a hashtag website you can have, and it gives you like the top hashtags of each thing. Like if you take Golden Age, it'll give you like Golden Age and like every Golden Age comic hashtag that you can put in there. So
yeah, that's cool. I know also when you start, sometimes I'll post something and I'll like something I haven't posted, like a modern book or something I'm not into or whatever, but I have one, I'll post it. I'll start typing what I think might go good hashtag, and then the drop down list comes and it shows what would finish that hashtag and what has the most posts under it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I got a really good hashtag for it. I'll do it, and it'll say 4 posts. And I'm like, yeah, another good hashtag. And then I'll take another one, like 85,000 posts, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good hashtag. But when it comes to these younger kids, look, here's my advice when you're getting older. And like some girl at work who's young asked me the other day, did I have a gem charger? She needed a gem charger. I was like, what? And she's like, you don't know what a gem is? And I was like, do you know what a Walkman is? And she said, no. And I said, there you go. I walked away.
good.
You throw the Walkman back at these kids, they don't know what you're talking about.
I think Dino was a big investor in Zune, so don't worry.
Hey, don't hit on Zune, dude. If my Zune didn't break, and Paul had a Zune too. If my Zune didn't like malfunction, that thing it was the biggest. At the time, it was like 160 gigabytes, dude. I could throw anything on that thing. It was great.
Good old days. Hey, I have a question about hashtags. Does it matter the order? So let's say my first 3 hashtags are the ones with 4 common posts, but number 5 is the one with like 18,000. Does anyone know if the order matters?
I don't
think so.
I don't believe so. Unless you're doing like tons and tons, then I think there's an algorithm that'll say you're spamming.
I mean, I put a fair number of hashtags, but I don't.
You got to limit with the new Instagram now. You have to. I think it's only 25. Because back in the day, like I think like people like Kim Kardashian, like people like that, they would have people who do it for them, obviously. But it's like they would have like thousands of hashtags, and they limit you like 25 hashtags now. Or like,
well, one good thing you can do though, if you really want to spam hashtags, which I don't have a problem with, people want to do it, it's cool. But you can put some of the main ones in the actual title, whatever, when you post it. And then comment on your own thing and put a bunch more hashtags.
Yeah.
Comment again and put it. You can just comment lists of hashtags under your own post and they'll come up.
30 hashtags is the new limit for IG. So on a post and 10 on a story.
I tend to stick around 15 because I'm like, dude, not that many people care at that point. If I can't find 10 or 15 that fit what I'm doing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have a list of like standard hashtags I use for the type of books I list, and I just use the same ones over and over, and it seems to reach a lot of people. I think it more has to do with their algorithm is more how many likes you're getting, how many people are clicking like, and the more likes you get, the more they put your stuff into the feeds, and the more it's into the feeds, the more likes you get. So it's a feedback loop. My suggestion is just post a lot and use a handful of hashtags. And just try to get a variety of hashtags to reach a variety of people and do it on a daily or semi-daily basis until you get rolling. It's really slow to start if people aren't on there.
Oh, yeah.
First, it's slow going. It takes you forever to get to 100 or 150 or 200 followers. But when you get to like 500, 600, it goes quick. I mean, I'm picking up 100, a month at this point, and it just keeps going. So it's much easier once you get some traction. It seems to go. It's much easier because your stuff's getting out there to a lot of people.
We've also put out good content, though. You put out books people want to see. I know you've done your own kind of sales tracking, and you do some sales, some buying, some of that stuff. And so I think you've got to focus on your content too. Go for your audience. I think I'm all over the place on collecting, so I'll trend in a lot of different groups. But like the stronger you are towards kind of whatever your focus is, the more likely you're going to kind of pick up people that you're wanting to see in your feed. And if you want to sell books, don't get 1,000 followers of people buying dollar books if you want to sell Golden Age. And if you've got a bunch of Golden Age followers don't start selling dollar books. I mean, you're going to kind of disinteresting them in what you're doing.
Yeah, I've had periods of time where I was selling a lot of books on my main feed. Not a lot, but I went from nothing to selling regularly on my main feed. And then I noticed not only was I not gaining followers, I was losing followers, and I wasn't getting a lot of likes. And I knew that the people that were following me at that point liked the books that I was owning and showing my new Golden Age acquisitions. And then when I'm listing some, Eternals #1 for sale, they don't want to see that crap. They're following me to see the Golden Age stuff that I collect. And so I was like spamming them with a bunch of crap that they don't collect or are not interested in. So yeah, the more focused you are, but you see, if you're focused on Silver Age Spider-Man, you're going to have millions of followers. If you're focused on this rare dark GA that's on the fringe, it's really hard to get a ton of followers, because even if you reach all of them, it's a very small part of the community. But focusing on one thing definitely helps you gain a strong following among that thing, as opposed to being all over the place. But
and you could play, like, for you, if you're big into pre-code horror and dark Golden Age, like you said, you could still trend in the regular Golden Age and get a following because they're still interested in that topic. And even, certain people in, Silver Age, or even some of the younger collectors doing the variants are cross-interested in that stuff. But like I said, you don't want to then go into dollar books or throw a left hook and do, all of a sudden you're doing God knows what. And it'll just...
I do want to plug, I created 2 hashtags, and they catch on. So I'm going to plug them here if you guys let me. I got 2 hashtags I created, and they're great hashtags, and you guys are going to agree with me because you've already brought up the term that I coined, which is Dark Golden Age.
Oh, yeah. We were using it on some Vintage Voyage because it's such a good term.
I know. I love it, and I feel like I'm the one that coined it. I think you guys gave me credit for coining it, too.
As far as I know, I heard it from you.
Yeah, I think I coined it because I came up with it, but, over the last few years, there's a genre of comics that's really gotten super popular where it deserves its own category. And it's like, it's not just Golden Age. It's like the crime, the PCH, anything with the dark theme. It's not a superhero book. It's not a Key. It's not a DC, or an Atlas book or Timely or something. It's dark Golden Age. It's got dark themes. And so I created 2 hashtags, Dark GA Comics and Dark Golden Age. And when you look them up on those tags, it's just the stuff I'm posting. Nobody else is using it. So all me, but I don't know. It's not catching on, which is cool, whatever. But I
will add it to mine because I love it.
Yeah, Dark GA Comics and Dark Golden Age are hashtags I created that nobody uses yet. So maybe one day people will, but whatever.
That might be a new like thing that we should try and do. Is like
I'm gonna
really
get Ben to use it. If he's watching, he's gonna use it too.
Yeah, just have people start using those hashtags, and let's jump on that bandwagon of helping those new hashtags get created. Right?
Maybe we should make a graphic segment, new hashtags of the week, and we just post
Well,
like hashtags on the screen.
Sometimes some hashtags get too used, like Golden Age Comics or some of those other ones. Like, there's a lot of people watching them, and when you have you want to do a mix of high potency hashtags and some that are like a little more niche, because you'll stay in the algorithm a little longer. Because if you do Spider-Man, there's a million people posting Spider-Man every day. You're not going to stay at the top very long. But if you can find one that's, I don't know, Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy covers. I don't know what the hashtag is, but somebody a little more niched, you're going to stay in that little pond a little longer and find some of those people you want to be with.
The best Instagram post I ever had was like it had like 1,000 likes or something like that. It was Avenging Spider-Man 9. I spelled Brie Larson wrong, and it got like 1,000 likes. I don't know if that was it. I don't know. It was crazy.
I love how everybody
that think that's how you spell Brie Larson.
Yeah.
I love how everybody's
mic's acting up.
Mine?
Dino's, I think.
Okay, let me. I'll come back.
I think it's great. Everybody's putting their new hashtags in here. I love our chat, man. Our chat is fun. Keep it up, guys.
What about Paul's coat? Nobody's talking on his coat.
I was gonna ask. I saw him on mute, so I didn't want to ask. Where'd you get that thing, man? You had to pay like extra for that?
It's a Walmart exclusive.
I know.
It's the summer buy back when. Dino said we got to have personality, so I just have to wear this every time I'm on Flipside, apparently. Mr. Swoosh might be my new thing. We'll see.
I mean, I finally put books on display and art. That's all I can do. So.
Well, I was gonna give you a big ups because I noticed the horrific back there in honor of DS tonight, and a couple really good foreign books. So I love how you're
both up there because that'd be rough. But he's got a nicer one than I got.
Well, I want to before we get into too deep into the Golden Age stuff. I want to talk a little bit about more about IG. And are people selling on IG with videos?
Some. I mean, I'm seeing it, but I think IG's tough because it doesn't play back right. Correct?
Well, there's a couple different types of videos with selling. There's people that make the short clips and do a post of like a 30-second clip of, and they show written on a piece of paper, like, these are $1, claim them. And then if you watch the post and they flip through them real quick and you can claim ones in the comments. But then there's people doing the live claim sales, and those are hour-long videos before it ends, and you have to start up a new one for an hour. Those have been really popular, especially with this COVID shutdown that's lasted forever. A lot of big dealers and guys with great books and shops are doing IG live claim sales, and those have really become popular. And I remember when they sort of started to become popular, there wasn't a lot of real good ones at first, and now they're just like every night, and there's some really quality stuff being moved on those claim sales. I find it's best to just post. I don't do videos on there. I can't figure it out, but I just post books one at a time. But
I'd love to watch the sales. I just don't have the time. I would rather flip through and see the book and go, okay, I want that. I know people love the video. They love the interaction. They love it because there's some people that do some fantastic stuff. I mean, we've seen them on Facebook. We've seen them on IG, and you start watching, you're like, he's putting on a show. But I just don't have the time to watch all those. I've tried a few times, and I'm like, they're selling 20 books I don't want to get to the one I might.
Yeah, and then there's ones like Elite Comics 11.
I love them.
Yeah, well, they'll host other guys who want to come on, and they'll run the show sort of for them. And those are really good, and you get a variety of sellers. And then one of my favorites is a friend of mine I'm on the Golden Guys on Tuesday nights with is Jeff Itkin, Golden Age Guru on Instagram. He does claim sales on his channel on Instagram once a month, and he does them for 2 straight days. He does for all day Friday, all day Saturday, and moves a ton of books, but he's got his rack in the back. It's like a one-man Comic Con. He has everything from moderns to Golden Age. He sold 2 AF-15s on the last one. I mean, it's like a comic convention Friday and Saturday on his channel, and it's awesome. So, yeah, I don't have the time for him, but there's some quality stuff. If you have the time and there's one running and you're looking for stuff, they're a good place to go.
I think.
And you brought up, though, I mean, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that I think that the key here is once we get some type of program that comes along that you can, send the feeds to multiple places, because I know right now it's really hard to send feeds to IG for some reason, which is weird to me because they're owned by Facebook. But I think that when there's one program that comes along where you can send a feed to IG, Facebook, Twitch, those multiple groups at once, game over. I really don't. I think that the third market, and shout out to we have a lot of people that are part of the third market in our community. Big shout out to Jesse James. Big shout out to Bird City Comics. I would consider all the people on IG third market elite, people like that. The third market is so important that once those tools are created, I think that will even make that explode even faster, because when people are so daunted by technology that they don't even want to look into it because they think it's going to be so hard to figure out. And you mentioned that there's people out there that are hosting events. That's another great idea. And I hate to be talking about it on this channel right now because I hate giving away free cornbread, but Jesus, man, there's so many new ways to make money off of this quote unquote third market. It's amazing.
That's what I was going to get into. Is it takes a while to develop a following. I mean, if you got 1,000 followers, you got a shot to sell some books, but if you come on with 100, 200 followers, you don't get enough impressions. So those guys that can get to 5,000, 10,000, they're the ones that are kind of able to do these consignment type things. I mean, I've consigned books with Elite before, and I'm sure Guru does a little bit of that. And it's like, it's not the worst way to go, is if you didn't get enough exposure to sell your book and the fees are better than, eBay or the like, I'll gladly give it to somebody else versus me trying to get to 10,000 subscribers in 3 years.
Yeah, and Elite Comics 11, I haven't used them, but I inquired and considered using them, but I never did for the particular batch of books I had at the one time. But I think they charge 7.5% on a consignment fee. That's cheapest rate going. I mean, eBay's 13%, 12.
Yeah, it was 7 or it was less. It was 10 or less. It's been 2 years since I used it, but I thought it was fair.
So I mean, it's good. And if you don't want to pay that, you can look. I don't mind paying fees. I know everybody bitches about eBay and other places. I don't mind paying a fee because sometimes it helps you get a quicker result and a better result. And for me, it's worth the 10% or 7.5% or sometimes 12.9 on eBay, because what you gain in revenue and what you gain in time is a resource that is ignored in so much of this hobby. And I don't understand it. People will have a book that they'll hold for 9 months to get that GPA plus 5% out of it, when I will sell it 10% below GPA and move it in 2 days. And then I can put the money back. I can sell 25 books in a time, and they're holding on to one because they won't come below GPA or they don't want to pay a fee. Man, time is a resource you can never recover. Once you've used time, it's gone forever. Money comes and goes all the time, man. I'm not worried about giving up a little bit. If I can get the money quick, I can make more money and I can use this money quicker. But so I don't mind paying the fees. And if you're paying a fee to like Elite Comics to help you move a book quick at a good price, is well worth it, because you will more than make up for that with the time you've gained by getting that money quickly to put it back to use.
I feel like we've given him a free ad tonight, but that's all right.
I think in regards to Z, you were talking about low followers and not being able to reach a larger audience. I don't think that should stop anybody, because that's me. I don't have many followers. I don't even have a IG that sells books, but I want to start this year. And my advice is, hopefully what I'm going to take is, don't let that stop you. If you want to post a picture to IG, put it on eBay too. And if someone comes saying, hey, do you have that book for sale? Hey, no, I'm sorry, I already sold on eBay. Here's my eBay tag, but follow me on both platforms, you'll catch it. If you put the same book on Instagram, eBay, where live sale, wherever, it's a first come, first serve platform, right? I don't think you should have to feel bad for saying, I'm sorry, that book isn't available anymore. But what I'm saying is, don't post it one place only and then be sad if it doesn't sell.
Yeah,
no, I wasn't trying to discourage people from trying. I'm just saying, don't get on there with 10 followers and think you're going to sell books in a minute. You've got to build a little brand, and
right.
You don't have to post books for sale at first. A lot of people just post books they own, sometimes just pictures they like. I mean, there's people that you post a lot of memes on one of your accounts, and I enjoy it. I see funny stuff.
But
you've got to build that brand, because odds are, if you've got 100 followers, you're going to get 10 or 15 impressions. Like every post does not hit everybody.
Well, and DS was talking about how he was losing followers, and maybe an avenue for that would be build your brand of, all right, I get it, not everybody likes this. Now I'm going to do every other post. Every other post, one's going to be one you're going to like as a follower, because this is what I got, and then the next post is going to be a for sale post, and maybe bounce back and forth. Maybe that's a strategy.
Yeah, and I actually created a separate account to do sales on IG, which is part utility and part experiment for me. I'm still in the process of trying different things and just seeing what works and what doesn't. What happens if I ignore it for a month? Do the followers go down? What happens if I put low priced raws, high end keys? And it's interesting because the followers, I'm up to like 700 on the sales page. I don't have a lot listed. But the stuff that I list moves quick. So I think even though I have almost 1,600 followers on my main account, I have less than half of that on my seller account. The seller account, everybody who's following is dedicated to looking to buy books. And so I might not have that many people that are ready to buy out of my 1,600 on my main account. I may only have a couple. But out of the 700 on my sales account, whenever I list something, it sells quick. I mean, I have some crap on there that nobody wants, but it fills out the page. You know what I mean? At least there's stuff there when a new person goes. But if I throw like a New Mutants 98 on there, Superman 233, some like legit thing, it sells quick within a couple days. So it's definitely been useful for me to create a separate seller's account.
Well, and here's another. Oh, go ahead, Dino.
Oh, sorry. No, you're good. The thing about Instagram for me is like since we do our own Instagram is that people at the end of the day, it's like it punishes you for being successful. And by I say that is you only can add so many people during a day, or to like time you out, or like you can unfollow so many people a day and it times you out. It's interesting when it comes to stuff like that. Like,
yeah, but I've found limited success in following a bunch of people unless they're not people I'm interested in following. I mean, you can grow your brand that way, but it's not going to be the strongest people you want. It ultimately depends your goal too. What are you trying to get? Exposure? You trying to get sales? You trying to get people that are going to buy your books? Like DS, if he can get 100 quality Golden Age followers, it's worth probably 2,000 just average guys.
Well, and honestly, for like big Golden Age books, I'll double and triple list books all the time in different places, and I've triple listed books before, but I'm old and I lose track of what I've listed where, so I don't like to get too far. But I'll double list books routinely and triple list them a lot. But different books will sell differently on different outlets. Like there's certain books that I know will move quick on IG, and if I put them on eBay, they'll be sit there. So you got to pick the right place to market the book too. But when I have like a big Golden Age book, I sell, most of the time I don't even have to list it because I already know people that were interested. I will just hit them up, or people will see me post a book and I don't even have to say for sale. They'll just hit me up and be like, hey, are you selling that? And I'm like, sure, how much? And
I'm still sad I didn't buy the book that we talked about many years ago.
Well, what book is that? You can't just leave us hanging.
He had a beautiful Black Cat 50 that I'm like, I don't have the cash right now. And I tried and it moved so fast. I was like, fuck.
There were a lot of people hit me up about that book, obviously, and mostly Instagram. And then I triple listed that book on Instagram, the CGC boards, and eBay. And I ultimately got somebody from eBay who contacted me outside of eBay and bought it. And we talked on the phone, and he bought it from me.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I was going to mention is if you can have your eBay and your IG or other screen names match.
Yeah.
I would say not all the time, but at least, semi-regularly, people will see something on there and then they'll message me on IG and go, is this you? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you can keep a couple of books, even if they're not for sale, you can post them in your feed as, hey, this is my book, and they'll see that to place and go, okay, this is definitely that guy.
But I'll tell you, John, I gave you almost first dibs on that book.
Like, you did. I just couldn't pull it.
You had a minute to pull the trigger, and it was there for you, but it didn't work out. And
listen, I've made more mistakes on Black Cat than I'd like to say. When the 9.6 sold in 2017 was like the 1 3-month period of my life I didn't have a job, and I still beat myself to death over it.
Well, I don't really regret much that I've ever sold. Most of my regrets are stuff that I didn't pull the trigger on to buy.
Yes.
And I don't regret selling that, but I will never have another copy anywhere like that. I had a 7.0 of that Black Cat 50, and I'll never get another copy like that. That just was such a nice copy. I don't regret selling it. I enjoyed having it, and I will always have the fact that I had it. So, but I'll never get another copy like that. That book
that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another thing I want to ask real quick is you mentioned that some books sell some, on some different platforms. On IG, what is it? Is it the bigger books sell faster than on eBay or smaller? Like on eBay, you can sell mid-range price books. Is it price or like key?
I think the stuff that I think is best to sell on Instagram. I mean, keys you can sell anywhere. Like I don't know, like what Werewolf by Night 32, something like that, or Hulk 181. And you could put a Hulk 181. You could stand outside Walmart with a sign. And you don't need. It's like selling drugs. You know what I mean? They sell themselves. You don't have to do anything. Just let people know you own it, and then it'll sell. But stuff that's I don't know, not appreciated except by people who really know what it is. That's the stuff on IG, because eBay, there's just a lot of people on there that are not necessarily amateurs, but not deeply entrenched in the hobby. Like,
because there's millions of listings.
It's really worth something that you know what it is. You put it on Instagram, other people there will know what it is. You put it on eBay, they might not. There's a lot of these people that are in the know. They don't spend a lot of time on eBay, and some of them don't like eBay at all. I freaking love eBay, mostly because they're not on there, so I get a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, stuff that's a little more hard to know that it's worth what it is, but people on IG will know it. I don't know, like rare golden age stuff, or like a high grade, like a Werewolf by Night 33 and like a 9.4. I would put that on Instagram, because on eBay it's just another book out there. You get offers and it'll probably sell eventually, but on Instagram people know how hard that book is to get in high grade, and there's people looking for it with money that will buy it.
And you can also hashtag it appropriately.
Yeah, that'll come up good with a hashtag. And I had an X-Men 107 in a 9.6. I put that on Instagram and it sold within a day.
Is that the Starjammers?
Or no. Starjammers. It's the one with the production defect at the bottom staple. It's so hard to find a high grade. And I had a 9.6, and I knew it was a book that should be appreciated for what it is. And yeah, I could put it on eBay and pay 12.5% and have people make lowball offers. But I put it on IG and it sold quick for what I wanted, and I just paid the goods and services fee. So that's the kind of book for Instagram for me.
Ben Stein in the house. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
Hold on. You talked about this X-Men 107 staple issue. You got to explain that now. Like, I don't know.
So there's a production issue when they were printing that book where I guess the machine that folds it over or staples it was cutting the paper right above the bottom staple. And so every single copy of X-Men 107 you look like, at the top of the bottom staple, there's this white spine tick. And that's a production defect that was caused every time the printing machine came down or whatever. It crimped that paper and made this really bad spine tick. And sometimes it's worse than other times, but it's on all of them. And I think CGC has started to grade that less harshly because it is a production defect, but it's such a blatant one that I think it still hurts the grade. Like, there's hardly any 9.8s of that book, and it's very tough to see anything 9.4 or even 9.6. But any single copy you get, yeah, you can, and it stands right out. You don't even have to zoom in. That's it right there. That's on every single copy of 107.
And Nico loves that book because he just bought the price variant on that puppy not too long ago.
Yeah, I know, it's a real cool book, and it's an early X-Men. It's like what is it, 77 or 78? It's an early-ish X-Men. It's not like a Copper Age or anything, and it's a first appearance, and it's so that real bad spine tick, that has other ones, but that real bad one is the production defect. The rest of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to key in on. That is crazy. So this is the type of information that is super important. Why I love the community, the YouTube community, the IG community, the Facebook community. This is the type of stuff that we should all be listening to loud and clear, because this is the cool stuff. I love finding out information like this. You don't hear about this shit unless you're hanging around a comic book store talking to other comic book fans, and we can't do that right now. So that's why I love this community, and we're able to give them this information. So
a 9.6 of that is a high grade copy of 107. On Instagram, it's an unusually high grade copy of a book that just never gets high grades. There's more of an appreciation among connoisseurs on Instagram that are in the know about that production defect. You put it on eBay, it's just people are looking for a 107. What grade can they afford? Oh, there's a 9.6. I don't want to pay $700 for that. They don't realize necessarily, like Instagrammers might, about that production defect and how hard it makes it to get that book in a high grade.
That's cool.
They don't sell either place, but I feel like it sells quicker and for a better price, and to somebody who appreciates it's a more satisfying sale for a book like that on Instagram than just some random person on eBay lowballing you on it.
True.
Are there 9.8s of that?
There aren't many. The best one I've ever seen was a 9.8 with that production defect on there that didn't break color, but you could see that it was there, and that was a 9.8. But I mean, I'll check the census while we talk. But there's
it's one of those.
I bought that raw on eBay for $30. Okay, this is why I freaking love eBay. I bought that raw on eBay for $30 because as buyers, also not necessarily in the know, sellers often aren't there either. They didn't know what they had. The only defect on the whole book essentially was that, and I got a 9.6.
Yeah, you've gotta know your market, and we can't be experts on everything. Like, I'm a jack of all trades and I know a little bit about enough. But if you can be really good at a couple things, you can make money just because you can zoom in on that thing and know. Like Ben here is our resident ghost hunter. He knows books. He's like, I've never seen it in the world. 42 for a book like that. That's not very many.
Yeah, and so there are quite a few 9.6s, but
still crazy.
There's 1,100 universal copies, 42 9.8s, 169 9.6s. So 200 out of 1,100 are 9.6 or 9.8, and only 42 9.8s. And that's not a ton of books to be sent. Only 1,100 copies Blues on the census. It's not a ton for an X-Men.
Surprisingly low for that range of X-Men.
Yeah, so I think a large percentage of these probably have been sent in to get graded over the last 4 or 5 years, I'll bet you. Traditionally, not a book that's been valued much, but now with this whole spec phenomenon that's going on, a 1977 X-Men book with a first appearance in it, it's more popular than it's ever been. Like Eternals 1, the entire census for Eternals 1, like 95% of that was sent in the last 2 years.
Because that book was worthless, and I still, I don't know, I still hate myself because I remember thinking they are not making a fucking movie out of this, and if they do, it's trash.
I don't think it's that bad because it's Kirby, right?
No, I understand, but I just remember my own head, like, if it pops, I'm fucking selling, I'm out, this is stupid. And I just cost myself money, but it is what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was picking up Eternals books left and right on eBay like a year ago, right before the hype started on that book. I was finding them left and right on eBay for $40, $30, $50, and pulling 9.4s, 9.6s on those just all the time. I had like 5 copies, and they're all 9.4, 9.6. I think I had a 9.2 in there, and I was flipping those like crazy for a while, and then the prices moved up, and now you're not going to find them for $40 in super high grade. But there's tons of high grade copies of Eternals 1 out there, raw. I mean, you find them. There's a lot of those out there. There's Kirby, Bronze, Marvel, Kirby. They printed a ton of them. There's tons of them still out there. You'll find them. There's no shortage of Eternals 1s in high grade out there.
They're just less common to find really cheap.
All right, let's get into
Can I throw out a shout out before we transition?
Yes. Yep.
I want to one of the guys in the chat, it's been so long I freaking forgot, but brought up this book that I made him buy, a Turkish book from our friends at Parallel Urban. I wish I could show it, but it is sitting here waiting to be delivered tomorrow. But it is the Turkish edition of the Immortal Hulk first book of trade. It's got the first 5 issues, so it's a thick book, so I will warn you of that. But Turkey Marvel did 500 of the traditional one by Yildiz Sinar and 250 of the black and white sketch. They're the homage to the Steranko Giant Size Hulk 1. But the one I think is really freaking cool is the Gray Hulk, which glows in the dark, limited to 500.
Nice.
It had to be the Gray Hulk because if it's a dark color, it won't glow right. So that's where they settled. But I mean, I haven't seen a cool glow in the dark in 25 years. And to be a Steranko homage and the Hulk, I'm in. I'm freaking in. I bought several. My kids are all going to put them up in their freaking room. So check it out on eBay at either Parallel Urban or go to their website. And listen, if you don't like this, I don't know who you are. You're probably not my friend to think that's cool because I grew up in the 90s and I think that's amazing.
Well, and we all know, for people that have been following Flipside for a while, you guys know how much we love Parallel. And they have been doing stuff that, for the longest time, I think they've been in the future of comic book creating and doing stuff over there that have been, I don't think they've really caught on here yet. And, we've talked about the AF-15 Miles and Gwen Stacy homage. That was kind of like where I remember them just coming out and blowing up. It's like they're coming out party like, oh my God, this fucking book is amazing. And really people didn't catch on for a while. And that started getting hot. But they put out some amazing stuff. That Darth Maul variant, the Virgin variant, and the Darth Maul all black cover, still gorgeous books. that 181 homage that they did with all the different types of Hulk characters and Deadpool. That was great.
And these are print runs of 500 and 250.
Yes, print. That's exactly what I was going to say. That is the biggest thing that I respect them for, is that not only are they, doing this from in a foreign country and making, again, here we go, foreign books. We all love them over at this channel, and they're doing it on a limited run. And that's huge in my opinion. So shout out to them.
Those are not normal comic size, right?
No, they're smaller. They're a little bit smaller, I believe.
5% smaller. And these are trades, so they're thick, but they are still gradable, and they will look cool on your wall.
Yeah. Amen. All right, let's get into your guys' bread and butter, and that's Golden Age, because more and more people are jumping into this Golden Age game, and I still think that there's not enough love in it. I think that people are really missing out on their chance to own some, not only pieces of history, but some really, really good investments. So
I'm going to get into it in the market report some too, because I found some books that I'm like, you're going to spend this much money on this or this. So, whatever. But DS is this is what he's known for. If you don't follow him on Instagram and you like Golden Age, or you just want to see Golden Age, you are missing out. He has some of the cooler books in there, and he's very plugged into the community. So he's one of the people I enjoy the most from the most here.
How did you get into Golden Age books, DS?
Well, first of all, I really appreciate, John, what you just said, and all you guys, but I really don't see myself as this Golden Age sort of like expert high-end collection, but the stuff's just so hard to come by that when you put in the time and the work in Golden Age, you are able to put together a unique collection. It's not like people who collect Spider-Man, everybody has the same books sort of. And when you're into the rare Golden Age, even if you don't have the money or the amount of time that you've been in the hobby, you can put together a collection that's unique to you, and you will undoubtedly have a lot of books that a lot of other collectors in Golden Age don't have. So you don't have to be some big baller to have a really awesome Golden Age collection. You can build your collection the way you want, and it will be very unique compared to any other Golden Age collections out there. That's the number one thing I love about it. But I collected comics when I was younger, and like 1994, 95 is when I got out of the hobby, and I was like 18, 19, 20 range. You start becoming an adult, you move on, do stuff with your life. And so I just put my 3 boxes of books in my parents' basement and went on with my life, running around the country being an idiot in my 20s and 30s and whatever. So after you get settled a little bit. Now I'm 45. So 5 or 6 years ago, I was at my parents' house, and I was like, hey, let me go down the basement and get those comics I used to have. And I brought them up, and I'm looking through them, and it just reignited that fire for comics. And I remembered reading each one of those books. I remembered buying them, and it was stuff I'd totally forgotten about. And I've been out of the hobby for 20 years. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I started to look like what stuff's going for. I'm like, oh, I remember this. And I was missing like one book of a run. I'm like, let me see if this is on eBay, and I'll buy that and complete this run. I really always wanted to read that. And I sort of got into it. But now with a more sort of mature view on it, I was looking for like more collectible, the keys that I always were, out of reach, like had godlike status when you're a kid that you would never consider you could ever own that. And like, maybe I can own some of these. So I sold off, basically, I had $500 to work with in cash that I had saved up. And I had just moved in, me and my wife just moved into this place, furnished it. So I've saved up $500 on the side, and I had these boxes of comics from when I was younger, and I sold those, and I started buying some bigger stuff. And initially I was buying like Wolverine Limited Series number 1 through 4. I got those all on 9.8. And I remember when I bought Wolverine Limited 1, it was the most expensive book I'd ever bought at the time. I bought a 9.8 on eBay for $190. I was telling her about, I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, that's a lot to spend on a comic book. I'm like, I know, but I really can't afford it. So whatever. So I took that $500 and probably like $20 a week for my job, not much. And I was buying small stuff that was big. And then I was watching a Heritage auction once, so I had learned about Heritage. And I was looking at the normal stuff I look at, Thor and Spider-Man and Punisher, all that kind of stuff. And, then I saw this Golden Age pre-code horror book, and I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? and I had never seen anything like it. I mean, it probably has been out there, but I never recognized it. I would just scan over it to look at superhero stuff or whatever. And it caught my attention, so I looked into it, and I discovered this whole other genre of weird-ass, creepy horror books that didn't have a Comics Code Authority stamp on it. I didn't know what was going on. They're 10-cent sticker price. I never heard of this. So I started looking into it, and then I came across Chamber of Chills 23, and I was like, well, this is cool. What else is in here? I go in my comic shop. There's Chamber of Chills 19, and I'm like, holy crap, this is where it's at. But I still had the love of superhero stuff. So now a couple of years go by, and the biggest book I own is a Hulk 181. I had an 8.5, legit decent book. I had an X-Men 4 in like 6.0 white pages, ASM 129 and 8.5. I had some decent stuff that I had worked my way up over 3 years. And then the decision came to buy an X-Men 1 or a Thing 12. Thing 12 is a PCH book. It's the first ever Steve Ditko cover. And it's a PCH book in a 6.0 or an X-Men 1 in like a 4.0, which at the time was like $2,000. So I had like $2,000 I had worked up. And then I was getting into Golden Age, so I sold my ASM. I had some books I bought, which I made real good money on, like ASM 301 and a 9.8, which I bought for cheap and ended up getting like, I don't know, a ridiculous price on that. What did I get for that? Like $1,500 or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say at least $1,000.
Yeah, it was a lot. I had an ASM 238 and a 9.8, which I got like $1,200 on that. So I had some stuff I flipped over the first few years. It gave me a lot to work with for the time. So yeah, that was it. I bought that for $2,000. And I never looked back. So that was the X-Men 1 or that, and it was that, and that was it. Then I decided this is where it's at, sold everything else, and just started going with Golden Age. And then over the last couple of years, I've been able to, I think selling the Hulk 181, I took that to a con, and I basically sold that to a dealer and took the cash across the aisle to another dealer and bought a Terrific 5. Which I have here somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, and so once I did that, I wasn't sure if that was going to be a good idea, if I would regret it, but I immediately didn't. And then after that, I sold everything else that was superhero related, trimmed my collection down, and just went straight Golden Age. And now I will sell for profit. I don't get emotionally attached. I'll move around in the hobby. I'm more of a comic opportunist at this point. And I'll take advantage of opportunities to, sort of make profits and money to move around and get bigger books. And that's what I do now. So now this is my forte, sort of, is like this dark Golden Age stuff.
No, and I like your view, because you're kind of like a lot of us that, when we were kids, we weren't thinking about Golden Age books. They were just something that we never see, we can't afford. But once you see it, you're like, oh, that's so different. And that's kind of where the IG fits in, is that IG is a visual medium. You kind of want to have that book that everybody's like, oh, wow. And I think that's where this market is everybody's doing the new modern variants because they're like, I want something nobody else has, so I want this rare variant. And the pre-code horror can have that. And you want those things that are just, I want something unique. So you can go a couple ways. You can go variants, you can go Golden Age, you can go foreigns for some of us, like Matt in the chat there. We can all pick our own kind of venue now. I mean, you can be a romance guy and have some really cool freaking romance books, and you may be the only guy on the planet with that chunk of them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the books I gravitate towards now, it's so different from 5 years ago. And I tell people, if I was a millionaire, if I win the lottery, I will buy and keep everything. I'll be one of those black hole collections, I call them, where you buy stuff and it never leaves.
Yes, it's
black hole. I will buy and hold everything. But until that point, what I go for, I like books that are really rare and really badass. And the value doesn't necessarily matter, although they tend to trend higher because other people like badass rare stuff too. So you got to get lucky sometimes. So something like this is one of my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
This book is so rare and so badass that this is like one of the jewels of my collection here. This is a Gus Ricka cover. It's Dynamic Comics 8 from 1944. Black cover. And there's so few of these on the census. And actually for a 3.0, this is like a high grade on the census.
It looks so clean, except for maybe the spine. Well,
this is so 60, 68 pages with a single staple. So almost every single copy has a detached cover. This has a detached cover and 2 center wraps detached. But whatever, man. I mean, try and find one of these things.
Oh yeah, that's a
All
tough
in the eyes too. Check that out.
Yeah, skin's like melting.
I feel like I put that on the hot 10 one week.
You have.
Like-
You
Oh, yeah.
definitely have.
You know, I've been looking for this for years now. I found this. There was a comic shop quite a few states away that had one that I heard from a friend, and I called them up and they're like, well, we don't sell them. We just do in-person sales. But I talked to them about how much I loved it. And I was able to work out a deal. They sent me pictures. I sent them money. They sent me the book. And then I looked at it carefully. It was complete and legit. So I sent it to CGC. I didn't press it. I didn't mess with it. I just sent it in. And so now
You're like, what is it going to do? You know?
Yeah, I mean, look, the risk for that. I mean, what's the point? It's, you know, but it has a detached cover and 2 center wraps detached. It's not going to get any higher than 3.0, no matter how flat it is. It's, you know, no chunks missing, and it's just badass.
Well, and that's something that we got to talk about, because some people just throw something into a press because they think they got to press it, and you got to evaluate some of those, because especially when you're dealing with paper from the 40s, you can do more damage than good.
Yeah, and a single staple with a detached cover. I mean, I could take the cover off and press it separately. Some people suggested. I didn't want to mess with it. And for me, just owning that book is the value of it. And a 3.0 anyway. I mean, look, that's maxed out with the detachments. So 3.0 on that, you know, that's a yeah.
I've never heard of people taking the cover off to press it and then remarrying it to the book, or how do you mean?
Well, if the cover's detached, then you're not doing any damage. Obviously, you can press the cover by itself without any of the soft paper beneath it, and you can just press that piece of paper. I have never done it, but people do it. You can also wrap it around something else to keep the spine, or you can flatten it completely out. I don't know. It's I guess if you pressed a single piece of paper, it might be more effective than pressing a 68 stack pages.
Yeah, sure.
But I didn't mess with it at all. But yeah, so, and then this one I also didn't mess with.
Oh yeah, that one I love.
This is a Hit Comics 5. This was a Lou Fine.
Yeah, I'm giving you the solo layout for that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This one I bought.
Look, I mean, to me, like even the previous book, the only damage I see is on the spine. Like, look how clean the colors pop on the cover. Like, wow.
Well, the thing on this one is got this edge is like.
Don't even care. Don't even see it.
I know, right? You don't see it.
I don't even see it.
This one had extra staples added and then removed. So there's 2 staple holes you can see. Oh wait, on this side, you see those 2 staple holes?
Yeah.
They have been restapled and the staples were removed, but the original staples are still on here. So I don't know why somebody did that. Maybe it was bound.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things in Golden Age too, is you can find, you know, a 3.0 means a whole lot of different things. There's a whole lot of different types of 3.0. You can find the prettiest one on the planet, take it.
But again, this book is so rare, 4/5 off white to white, and the black cover that's that intact and nice.
Yeah.
And the reds fade first. Look at the reds on this.
Yeah.
You even got a red date stamp inside the red title.
I love the date stamps.
Yeah, so this book is just so cool.
Do you find yourself more drawn just to the rare books or to a particular artist?
There are some artists I really like, but I think overall I like the rare books with a dark theme. And it just sort of coincidentally, a few artists who have some really good rare dark theme stuff come up over and over in that category, like L.B. Cole, Lou Fine, you know, guys like that. Irv Novick did MLJ stuff. He's got some badass stuff. Bob Fujitani did some MLJ stuff. These are names that you really don't even know unless you're in there. Some of their biggest works are these dark GA rare stuff. So it's just happenstance. I'm a big LB Cole fan, but I choose rare stuff more than I choose LB Cole stuff. So the LB Cole stuff I have at this point is less than I used to, but it's the rare stuff of his.
Okay.
Like this one here. Well, this one, I wouldn't even consider this rare, but I mean, y'all know what it is anyway.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So this is the consensus #1 LB Cole book ever, Mask 1. And it's
probably one of the coolest
LB Cole book, but it's close. I do like Startling Comics 11 or Startling Terror Tales 11. the best. So that's a PCH book, easier to find than this. But this one has a chunk missing here, which limits the grade. But the prices on this thing, I mean, I'm not going to complain. So,
no, I mean, you put that in Punch 12, and they're pretty much the two most desired dark GA books out there.
Yeah, I need Punch 12 is like right on the top of my list. I just need to find one. Do you know what I mean?
I thought maybe that's why Brian left, was to brag his copy.
No, I was going to say, if you're going to find one, but see, but Brian's kind of in that same situation with his. Is, I mean, he hasn't sent it in yet, but I mean, I wouldn't want to touch that thing.
No,
it's hanging by a thread.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it. Probably, I'd probably just send it in. But I would give him some stuff for that. I got books and cash.
Trust me, there's some kidneys in line.
I know.
So here's the question Comic Book Buff was asking. Do you guys think there's a lot of comics still in basements, attics, the barn finds? I feel like it's harder, but you still hear those unicorn stories every now and then, right?
They exist.
Where do you find these books outside of among the collectors?
They exist, but every year there's less.
Yeah, that's true. I recently I'm probably like probably early. No, it was probably like 5 months ago. It's 4 or 5 months ago. I went down to Georgia for another collector, a dealer, to pick up a Golden Age collection, original owner Golden Age collection, from an estate sale in Georgia, outside of Atlanta. And it was a guy who was a kid in the 40s, and his dad bought books when he got off work and would bring books home for him. And he had, 400, some had been given away. He had more than that, but at the estate sale, 400 original owner Golden Age collection. And the biggest book in there was a Startling Comics 49. And then a bunch of other cool stuff. So they're still out there. And this guy's still alive. He's like in his 80s. But yeah, then they're still out there, but there's fewer and fewer all the time, but they are still out there, and they do still show up more than you might think, honestly.
But I think there's just more people looking now. Well, and I just think, I think now you're at that point of these people that may have had them are on, I don't want to say on their last leg, but they're in the next 10, 15 years, all those people that might have had those are all going to be gone. And I think that in 10 and 15 years, they won't be there. You won't be there.
More likely it's easier to find, easier. I mean, none of this stuff's easy to find, but you can find singles or a couple books here and there that maybe somebody bought at a con or picked up from a shop like a decade or two ago. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They'll have it. So you can find like one hitters going around, but the big collections, they're so popular now. There's so much more competition from dealers and collectors to get these that when they come up, it's rare that somebody like me would have a chance at them.
Yeah, I think it's a great parlay into what Brian wants to talk about.
Well, or I want to say real quick, as long as the books are, if they're not already, at least maybe have some bags and boards with you of various sizes. It'll protect the books from the tears that fall from your eye as you're happy that you have them and have bought them, as Brian might be able to tell us as he segues into what's next, right?
Oh, you guys, I had an amazing experience over the weekend that I just wish I had a little bit of more money in my coffers. If this would have been a couple months ago when I did have a little bit extra in those coffers, it would have been a bad thing, I think. So maybe I didn't wish I didn't have a little extra money in the coffers, because I would have easily dropped $5,000 at this place. I only spent $500. I'll show you guys what I got in pickups, but it was amazing auction experience that I've never been part of before. And here we go. Here, I'll set it up. So shout out to Flipside viewer and listener and all around good dude, Colonel Josh, who is always in the chat and I talk to on a regular basis. He lives out here in the Phoenix area and he's just a good dude. And he hit me up a couple of days before the auction. He's like, hey, there's this crazy auction and you should check it out. And my whole thought process was, I've been saying I want to go hang out with this dude and kick it. And, I'll just go meet up with him and hang out for a little bit and shoot the shit. And then I'll go do it. I had a podcast episode scheduled and I'll go do a podcast episode and, it shouldn't take too long. So I figure the auction started at like 10 a.m. and I figure I'll get there around 9, stay till about 10:30 and bounce. Well, it was unbelievable. I looked over some of the pictures that they had on their online thing, and They had a couple good pictures. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. When I got there, it was crazy. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys some of this stuff. So when I first got there, they had basically everything was in like boxes on tables. And they had these boxes and they would just fill the box up with 15 to 20 comics and then just, shout out to Colonel Josh. Good dude, man. Good dude. Like, I'm going to break his heart. He's going to be pissed at this because I'm going to give him a little shit too, because life happened to him and we all know what happens. He's a dad and he had to spend some time with his kids. So I'm glad that you couldn't make it because you were spending time with your kids, bro. That's the way that it works sometimes, but I feel bad for him because he couldn't make it.
Dude,
and
it sounds like a speakeasy where like somebody, hey man, I bought this house for $1,500 to flip, and I broke open the first wall and I found these bottles covered in dust, and we're gonna drink it tonight. Like,
yes,
like just like what is this place? Like, hey, you want to come to this one-time showing at my underground club? Like what?
Well, the funny thing that you say that, Paul, is that is the mystery of this. Like, I talked a little bit about this with Z and Matt Roybal, and nobody knows who these people are. And that's the crazy thing. Once you guys see what was coming out of this place, you'll understand why it's crazy that nobody knew who they were. So they had these tables. There was just tables and tables and tables of boxes. They must have had like 200 of these boxes. Then they had 9.8 slab books on one side, one wall, just like 100 slabs. And then on another wall they had all the sports cards, and then another wall they had all the Star Wars toys and shit, and it was nothing but sports cards, Star Wars toys, some like novels, like collectible novels, like Robert Jordan stuff. Like, is that the Wheel of Time guy, Robert Jordan, I think? So they had like a bunch of like really cool leather bound books and statues, huge massive statues, the boxes and everything, like the big huge Hulk versus Wolverine 181 statue that's like this freaking tall and big, and it was crazy. So anyways, you go around and you're just looking in these boxes, and so I didn't have much time, so I'm just looking really quick and taking pictures of boxes that I want to remember because I didn't write them down. So I'm going through boxes, and these are the pictures that I started taking of some of these boxes. So so you see, this is kind of what you see. This was a foreign box. The whole box was full of foreign books, right? And then you just start seeing like stuff like this, right? I'm just taking pictures. Look at this one. Oh, that looks like a good box, right? Well, look what's underneath it. Foreign Batman Adventures 12, right? You guys are going to shit. Just wait. Then I go to another box. This is on top. It's the Panini variant of...
Who is this guy?
Oh, dude, you're going to shit, dude. Look at this. Next box. Oh, what's that?
Damn.
Yeah. Next box. Yeah, another Batman Adventures 12. All right.
It's a newsstand.
But it's Spanish.
Yeah, it feels like a Mexican version or something.
And, let's go to another box. Oh, beautiful, right? Look at this one. Oh, what's that? Just chilling.
I'm going to go with Time Travelers.
Look at this foreign box. So I opened the foreign box, one of the foreign boxes, and look underneath, and it's all foreign keys. Nothing but, and so let me tell you what this was. So I started going through this stuff. 90% of it is foreign keys and variants. Whether that's
man, you should have said that would have PayPal'd you cash.
1 in 20. I know I'm going to piss you guys off. 1 in 25s, 1 in 10s, 1 in 50s, 1 in 100s, and foreigns. And then a little bit of those were store variants because they got, they could tell they got in and got on store variants. And then the rest was a little bit of like not bad fodder, like good fodder. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'll see some of the stuff in my
$5 and $10 books.
Yeah. So this was another box. I mean, just chilling. There's that was all new Wolverine, gorgeous. I love that variant just sitting on top. Look at that. I think that's a Panini Ultimate Fallout 4 Djurjevic book.
Yeah, that's a couple hundred books.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, I hope the guy is watching that. I'm going to shout out here in a second because I don't know if he knows what he really has yet. I hope he's watching right now. So shout out to Jesse James.
I saw him earlier. I hope he's still watching.
Oh boy, Jesse.
Jesse, don't sell this stuff cheap, my man.
Oh, look at that. What's that? That's a beautiful foreign book, right? Like all the you would go through boxes.
Wow,
and
I don't have that one.
Yeah, all the Wonder Woman, Adam Hughes stuff. This is some of the slab books, right? They had a 7.0 or 7.5 Marvel Spotlight. They had a bunch of keys. Golden Age. Look at this. Captain Atom. I missed out on this. I was so mad at myself missing out on this. This is some signed stuff, right? Campbell signed. This is who is this? Is this Campbell too? This is Campbell too, right?
Can't tell.
I can't remember.
Campbell's on the right. That's Delato on the left.
Delato, yeah. Oh, look at that! In that same box that had that Batman Adventures 12 and is a Legion of Superheroes foreign, right?
$50 book,
I think that's
right?
the French, but yeah.
Oh, in another box, what is that? A different Legion of Superheroes.
Damn it.
Oh, in another box, all foreigns. Like this is the one I really wanted, but I could. There was 3 boxes I really wanted so bad, but I just didn't have time to stay. It took forever.
Oh yeah, they're long.
Here's another box. So like, there we go.
Shit.
So I'm just gonna go through some of these. Right,
That's
these
a tough one.
Look at that one.
Jesus Christ.
I missed out on that one.
So this guy was obviously going to Mexico, right? I mean,
some of these are French, bro. A lot of these are French.
yeah, but I mean, like a lot of these are the Spanish versions. So you're not that. I mean, you're a few hours from the border, right?
Yes, few hours.
I know
easy.
you're saying the Spanish versions, but those things are picking up, man. They're where the Americans 1,000, these are pushing $100, $200.
A lot of German versions, a lot of French versions, a lot of Brazilian versions. Look at this. They had like these old school toys, droid toys, Star Wars toys. Here's a French book, Skyborn French book, great Frank show cover. I don't know what that is, but I took a picture of it because I really wanted that lot. Didn't get it. I really wanted this lot. I thought that I bought one of these because there was 2 of them, 2 different countries for the RRP Batman variant. But I thought, I swear I bought one, but I didn't find it. So either I left it there or I didn't buy it. Here's the other one.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's the other one. Yeah, he's thinking he's going to get tortured over there because he's hating himself. You're hating yourself for missing this one. All right.
I would have come if you would have called me.
Here's another one.
I've been on the plane.
Yeah. I mean, just beautiful variants and keys.
That's tough stuff, some of that. Matt's over there. Matt left because he's masturbating right now.
Combo pack variants of the major books still in their things. This was kind of cool. So they had all these Star Wars toys, and this has the Revenge of the Jedi sticker on it, unopened forlorn from Empire Strikes Back. It has the Revenge of the Jedi sticker.
Nice.
Look at this, the German 129. All right, so I have way more pictures that I don't want to go through pictures. I want to show you guys the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually let me kill my screen here. And share it again. Let's go entire screen share. All right, let's see if this works. So this is a videos I just put together. This is with a place. It was called Bronx Auction. I've never heard of it. When I went there, I only saw 2 people I recognized in the comic community. There was probably like 100 people there, I would say. Only 2 people I recognized. One of them was Jesse, which was great because I'll hang out with Jesse anytime, and it was fun this is the best part about it. I mean, it was an amazing auction. The best part about it was I haven't been able to do stuff like this in a year. Like I haven't been able to go to comic shops, and you get to hang out. I'm hanging out with Jesse, and we're bullshitting about comics and just looking at amazing stuff. And it was a lot of fun just to be there. But I only recognized like 2 people. And so there was a lot of people in the Valley that must not have known about it, which is even better. But so anyways, I'll go ahead and play this. This is, can you guys still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So the auction was again place I never heard about. Here's kind of giving you some ideas. This is them selling the Star Wars stuff, and you can see how it was set up. This is about all the unopened Star Wars figures they had, but a couple of them went for like $600-700. The crazy thing is that people were spending money on things that they should not be spending that much money on, and not on other things. That was a dope-ass Art Adams print.
Well, because people don't know. They get excited. They get in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, this is kind of cool right here. These are some cool Star Wars figures. But the cool thing is, you knew this guy knew what he was getting and knew what. like to keep because he kept a lot of the like the heirs. Like these Star Wars right here are super hard to find. They're the half circle Boba Fett's, and so they were heirs that were only put out in the first production. And I'm trying to, you see the circle on his hand is only half, and those were out in the first production. He had multiples of those. He had the long saber tray, short saber. He had a bunch of long sabers, which were all first production, second production heirs on those. A lot of hard to find the George Lucas figures. It was just, you could tell that they knew about the hobby or something, which was really cool. And just keep going here. Another half circle. I think those went for like $50, $40 a piece. This is a J. Scott Campbell drawing, pencil drawing and ink.
How much did that go for?
I had to leave. Look, here's some of the slabs that they had on the walls. Old school Buddhas. Those sold for a little bit. But nothing really got really high except for some outlandish stuff that went really high that people should not have been spending that much money on. Like nothing that I thought, like even the Daredevil, the first Elektra, and the first Ghost Rider didn't go for outrageous sums. It was crazy. I couldn't stay for most stuff. I got through most of the slabs, and I got through like 2 or 3 tables of the lots of comics. But you can see a lot of these are foreigns or Ace editions, and there's the Spotlight 5, 7.5.
You need to tell Jesse he should just sell that stuff on the FCC forum. He will do way better than he will in real life.
Oh, well, Jesse, he's just slinging books, man. That's one of the guys that, you were talking earlier, DS, you just got to sell books quick, and he's slinging books.
Well, tell him do one foreign-centric thing, and he will do better than slicing them out, man.
Yeah.
Just say, this is the foreign one. Let some people know, and they will come like crazy people.
Yeah. And shout out to there was a lot of people I saw there. I think it was
Brian Rickard was there.
Yeah, shout out to Brian. He came up and said hello, which is nice. There was like 4 or 5 people that came up and said hello that I've never met before. They said hello because of Flipside, which is really cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I enjoy. It's really cool.
They probably outbid you.
They probably did. You guys can see more of the stuff, the lots here and how it was set up.
Man, if you can find an old school auction house that gets a comic collection, you'll
look at these cards. All right. Let me go back here a little bit. So there were 6 Michael Jordan rookies.
What?
Yeah. So there's the Jordan rookies. There's 4 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was signed 53 or 54 manels. I'll show it. You'll see it here in a second. Just a second. Look at all the just boxes. They would just have boxes of cards, and they sell the whole lot. And you can see there's a bunch of
Griffey.
There's a Griffey. There's a bunch of rookies. One box had like 10 Ricky Henderson rookies, 5 Barry Bonds rookies, 6. It was all in one box, and you can see it here in a second.
You know how much the Jordans went for?
No, I had to leave. So you can see here, there's the 50. Is that a 53 manel?
That looks like a 53.
It's signed. It's signed. They've got a 55 Aaron, 55 Duke Snyder, I think. They had all kinds of stuff. Here you go. You can see some of the old school signed cards. They have a bunch of chicks from the.
And nobody knows who. Nobody knows who the original owner of these were.
No, not even like Matt Roybal was like, I've never heard of this people who it could be. Like, I have no idea. And you would think people that had that many foreign books would be known in the community, right? And nobody knew. Like, not even like I asked Jesse. I said, "Do you know where this came from?" I asked a couple of people. Nobody knew. Not even. And the way that the auctioneer put it, it was one couple that all this stuff was for.
You know why? Like DS said earlier, it's a black hole collection.
Yep. And you can see, like, look at these boxes. There's 1 Henderson rookie, 2 Henderson rookies, like 5 Roger Clemens rookies. And that's not even the box I was telling you about. The other box is on the next shelf, and it's got like twice that amount of Henderson. Look at this.
They're just tossed in there like they don't matter.
Yeah. Just watch this. So I walked. They sold this whole pallet full of cards. Whole pallet. I don't know what they sold it for, but they said we're just going to sell the pallet. And every card in there is in penny sleeves.
What, dude? Why did you leave? Like,
I had to do a podcast, and I was like, you know what I mean? I didn't have any more money. I would have spent more money that I couldn't have spent.
yeah.
It was heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking.
When did you find out about this thing?
A couple days before. And Nico had said to me, hey, if you ever find anything, hit me up. And I just hit him up with a quick thing. And I didn't want to fucking bother you all the day before and be like, hey, if you guys want to send me money, I don't want to be that asshole. But
no, be that asshole next time.
Oh yeah, you know me, Brian. I would have, especially on those cards and stuff, man. I would have. I mean, they look like they're like completely ignoring the cards.
They were. There was guys there that left early because they couldn't wait anymore.
Kidneys, man.
30 get 10 for both. 10.
I love how the auctioneer's voice like adds to the ambiance where he's not mixing his voice like you're mixing the music, but it adds to the videos. 10%.
So this is crazy too, because if you look over here, look what I find. This is for Matt Roybal. Hopefully Matt's here, but watch this.
He's watching.
Are those Brazilians, John?
Yeah, the little ones.
Watch. All of them. Keys.
Yeah.
Crazy. And there was just boxes of them, dude.
Jesse hit the mother load if he bought all those.
So Josh goes, I only told one person about it, and he told me, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I owe you a beer. I owe you 2 beers.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of books.
Man, that's a lot of slabs.
Like, I've been to a few auctions with comics, but it's usually like a couple lots. I've never found one that's like a collector like this.
Yeah.
I am surprised like they didn't have national guys there. They must not have broadcasted it well because
Yeah,
like
they put.
my brother
so many
my brother one time did like a local auction, like an estate auction that was just auction zip or whatever, and he's like, dude, there's some cool shit. There was like a Venus 5 and some of that stuff, and he walks in and he's like, there were 3 or 4 national dealers there just outbidding the shit out of each other.
Yep. Shout out Jesse James. Here you go. You can see some of the Jordans.
Oh my gosh, is that one of the stars?
It wasn't the 84 star, but everything else he had.
Oh my gosh, did you see all those 80? Was that 87s too?
Yep, 87s, 85s. He had them all.
Those things are going bonkers.
Are
that
they?
Auctioneer hit the mother load. How much money he made?
Who knows, man? I would love to. I'm gonna love to go in and talk to them and find out. I asked them if maybe I could, come back and film in here, because I was like, if I would have known about this, I would have filmed early and put it out for
So did they sell everything?
I don't know yet. When I left, they were selling stuff. They probably did. Nationally advertised on an estate sale website. He said. There you go. Look at some of these books in here.
Don't go back, man. Brian, don't think that it's all gone, man. Go back. Investigate. Seriously. If not for us, at least for yourself.
Look at all these variants.
Yeah,
I need you to stop.
Yeah, I buy variants. I buy tons of variants, but I mean the fact that he's got all these other sections on top of just variants is odd. Like
it's like you took the entire Flipside crew and combined our.
Look at this.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
One box. Watch this.
I don't want to talk about it. Oh God, 2 of them.
I mean, the only thing I haven't seen is turtle books.
Oh, there was a couple there. I didn't get them on video though. There was a couple.
Fine, I appreciate that.
There was a couple. No, there was one French Turtles book. Jesse probably got it. Jesse got. Oh, what? Here's the Marvel Spotlight.
Ghost Rider 7.5. Left bid K. Left bid D. 28. D 28.
Can you guys hear it?
500,
Yeah.
600, 700, 800, 900. $900 already get 900 now. 1,000, $1,000, $1,000. 1,000, give 1,000, give 1,000, give 1,000, give $1,000.
Guy in the Sun Devils shirt wins it. Oh, he's funny.
1,000, now 1,100, now 1,200. 1,200, 1,200, 1,200, 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. I sold at 1,100 to buyer number 1.
1,100.
Damn, that's a good price.
Yeah. Everything was. I hate myself. So, I got a couple books, right? And should we start pickups? I'll start pickups off.
Should we do pickups or market?
Okay, let me just show you my books that I got
you do
here.
this.
All right, so here are the books that I got. We'll just start going through. I won't show you the stuff
I'm
that's
already disappointed in you. So
I won't show you the garbage stuff. Here, I'm going to put myself back on this just because I think it looks so everybody can see everybody. But so I got, and I didn't know what a lot of these were. I mean, I'll show you the reason why I bought them. So I got all three of those.
yeah, okay.
Oh man, I got that Skyborn French Frank Cho book. I got isn't this the
first Jessica Cruz. Yeah.
So they had those in combo packs.
The combo packs are like the red ones are like $200 books.
Well, guess who do you think won them?
Jesse.
Of course he did. The man's a machine, brother, a machine. So look at this one, Del Auto.
Ooh, that's a sweet cover.
And it's got posters in it too. And the posters are in there.
Sweet
cover. The Italians do nice books, man. They don't screw around.
It's a little bit bigger.
The Italians make a nice book.
This is kind of cool. This is the Panini Wolverine.
Yeah.
Old school Wolverine. I don't know what this is, but it's Panini and it's foil cover. It's Wolverine fighting Wolverine.
Nice
big book. Here's another Panini. This is X-Men 73.
Did this just come in one of those boxes? You bought one of those boxes?
I bought 4 boxes. So I got 4 of those boxes. I only got 4. I spent $500 for everything.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. That tells you how much Jesse was spending.
Uh-huh.
You were going for the low-hanging fruit. That's a nice one.
Well, I didn't have, again, I only got to stay for about a quarter of it.
Yeah, that's a nice book. I like that one.
All right, let me put these down. I didn't realize that some of these you don't even realize are, I think this is a 1 in 25.
Oh, yeah. That like this guy just bought variants.
I don't know if this is a variant.
Probably.
It looks like that was not the regular cover.
Yeah. This guy was a variant hunter.
This is a French.
Okay.
I don't know what this is yet. Some Conan book.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is because I'm watching on eBay a black and white variant cover of that.
Yes, kid.
Yeah, I just thought it was so cool. I'm like, man, I'll buy that. So I'll tell you exactly what it is. Hold on.
That's a sweet looking cover.
Yeah, it is Conan the Barbarian #1. And let me see. It is Gerardo Zaffino cover.
Not bad.
I don't know what it is, but it's from 3 of 19 Zavino cover.
Not bad.
There's the sketch one that's on eBay.
Oh, beautiful. I wish that one was there and I just didn't see it. I probably know who has it. Yeah, Aaron E. So Brian, what's your eBay name again? Collector Days. Days spelled D-A-Z-E. That's a Panini.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I mean, Panini makes nice books.
I don't remember what this is. Is this just a regular, like a not that big of a deal variant? Because it's damn cool looking.
I feel like that's a store variant.
Something.
Store variant.
Yeah, you'll pick that up because it's a nice Silver Surfer 4 homage.
There was a lot of store variants. This is cool. This is Spider-Man 18. I don't know what that's. German, maybe?
Yeah, it's German.
This is there was a bunch of these variants for like Wolverine Origins. I don't know if any of these are. I always like this cover. The only reason I show it is because I like it. I love that Art Nouveau Casada. They had a bunch of these. One box was just full of these Bianchi variants. A lot of Wolverine stuff. They had a lot of Marvel Comics Presents. They had like a full run of tons of Marvel Comic Presents. Some of these, I mean, just gorgeous black and white covers of Wolverine. That's what most of these ones are, these last two. This Wolverine number 1000 variant.
Oh, that's pretty.
All right. I just got to remember not to run over these damn things.
You got more
Right.
foreign comics than me all of a sudden.
I know. I was gonna say his foreign. All of a sudden, he's one of the top 10 foreign comic collectors.
Yeah,
Beautiful Heroes for Hire variant. They had a ton of Ghost Rider variants. I didn't see the Neil Adams, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was there.
Yeah, probably Jesse found it. Fucker.
Yeah.
I love you. I just was cursing at you because I'm jealous.
I like this Mayhew variant.
Jesus.
This is, I don't know what this is. Another variant. Age of Ultron. Some of them, just variants that I never see.
No, I don't even know most of these exist.
Yeah. This one's cool.
I live in that world, and I
love that one. I fucking love that book, and it's so cheap. And I'm like, why is it so cheap? It's the best Hulk.
Iron Fist 28, I think, variant, 27 variant. You could tell a lot of store variants.
Was that a form, that Perio?
This is it says Holy Grail variant.
I don't know where Holy Grail. I don't know what that is.
Got this.
That's an expensive book.
The Art Adams Magic variant. This is
That's
kind of
nice.
cool. Captain America variant.
Oh, that is nice.
That looks like a Hildebrand.
Getting close to being done here. Got 2 more stacks. This is kind of cool. I was glad I got this. This is one of the few older foreigns that I got.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this? Mexican?
No. I do not
Marvel
know.
Presente? Maybe German?
No. Shit. I can't. I don't recognize. I'm sorry.
It's kind of cool.
Matt will chime in a minute.
This is a French Mouse Guard book, free comic
wow.
book day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the boxes, I saw one of these, and I didn't win it. It went too much, and there was one of these in the box, right? So I didn't even know I got this. So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not as good as the real one, but it's still cool. It's the red variant, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah.
X-Men Red. Yeah.
X-Men Red. And behind it were 4 more.
Oh gosh.
Jeez, nice.
Didn't even
That's
know
a
I
nice
got
one.
them. So maybe that makes up for losing out on that RRP. This one's really cool, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, wow.
That
Like
was
a
a
Del
store.
Auto?
I feel like that was a store variant.
Okay. It's cool, though.
It is I think it is Del Auto.
You
but
probably
I remember
paid a
seeing-
really good price for a lot of these store variants that would have cost you a shit ton to buy real.
I think
Oh,
these
sure.
are all connecting covers. Monera.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice set.
They said that Spidey was French.
Okay.
Thank
Is
you.
what D. La Pera said.
So I didn't get that Captain Atom, the 6.0, but there was another box that had a ton of Captain Atom, and I got one for $20. So
Nice.
yeah, not bad. I got a set of claws, which was kind of cool. I didn't realize those were in there. All right.
Was the
It's a little
variant in there?
No variant. These, no variant in that one. I got these. I don't know what, and these are some of the fodder a set of Red Wolf.
Eh.
And this is what I mean by fodder. Like this is not like
They're
necessarily
worth
fodder.
for fodder.
Yeah. If you never expect to go through, see that shit.
It seems like you'll do pretty well on what you bought. You'll make some money.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool, and just all these. You could tell towards the end they were just buying maybe store variants and stuff.
Yeah, they bought stuff they wanted.
So I only got 2 slabs because I didn't have much time to wait, and they're decent, not bad. Let me do this. The first one was really cool. I got for 40. I think I paid $40 for it. I'm pretty glad I got it for 40. I didn't realize it was limited. They put these. I hate it because they put their stickers right on the slabs.
They're not bastards.
Yeah, they didn't care. It's the
Is that
what is
the
it called?
Stormtrooper one?
Yeah, Death Force #1 by Zenescope, the Phoenix Comic Con, limited to 100 Stormtrooper. So I know the Boba Fett sells. The Boba Fett one is ridiculous. So I figured this one might be.
Well, there's a
Yeah,
Boba Fett one. There's a Jango Fett that sells well. All those Star Wars ones sell well.
And for being limited to 100, I was pretty cool with that.
For $40, that's
you'll be fine. That's rating cost.
Yeah, it's a 9.8, so that's not bad. And this one, I mean, it's not the original, but it's still. Sorry, guys, for the sound, but it's the. This is from. It's limited to 333. It's 309 out of 333, and I think it's Swiss or German.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let me take these off here.
Yeah. Okay. Solid. I mean, it's probably German, but sure.
Yeah. And it's the Campbell Black Cat with the Spider-Man and the Yarn Ball variant. Shout out to Modern Comic Mayhem who put this on their top 10 J. Scott Campbell covers list over the weekend. And it was kind of cool seeing it just at the, and you could see it's the, from 2015. It looks like DEZ. I don't know what that is, but
I still think that's Campbell's best cover ever.
I agree. It's up there.
It's in there.
So that was it, man. And so last couple stories. So I got a bail, and most of the time I'm hanging out with Jesse and another guy who I met there for the first time. Real good dude. Seemed like a good dude. Shout out to Danny. He bought that Punisher 129, the 7.5, the German one. So I'm standing there. Most of the time I'm just chilling with them. But when it got like, when they started doing the auction and like everybody just converges and it's kind of like claustrophobic. So I'm like, screw this. So I just went over and hang out and just, totally hit on Jesse's girlfriend the whole time. But don't worry, bro. My balls are small and my sauce is weak. So you're good. But basically just stayed away. And the whole time I'm just hearing these lots go off. Right. And so I go back over there for a little bit, and I get a couple of my lots, and I got to bail. So I tell Jesse, "Hey man, I'll see you later." He walks over with me to pay, and he goes, "Oh, did you get a couple?" He saw a couple lots. He's like, "What else did you get?" And I showed him. And I go, "How are you doing so far?" He goes, "I got 55 lots." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "That's crazy, man." So he shoots me a message afterwards. He goes, "Yeah, I walked out with 170 lots."
My gosh, he should have just bought the whole auction.
I think that was his plan. And, shout out to the guys that are going out there and hustling, because the funny thing is he's like, I'll put a bunch of these are going on my show tonight, and I'll sell most of them tonight on my show. He'll sell them that quick because, like you said, DS, the key is just selling. And yeah, he might, I didn't see, Josh, that was the one book I did not see that I wanted, was the Thor God of Thunder 2 variant. I did not see it, and I wanted it so bad. I don't know why it wasn't on the shelves. I wanted that book so bad. That was the main book I was going for. But so anyways, yeah, like if you're selling these books quick, he was probably, he's right. He's going to take a little hit probably on some of this stuff, but some of that stuff is going to sell like crazy because there'll be people that are watching that know what it is. And then other people will see the bidding on it and it'll cause the bidding go up. Cause that's what I noticed at these auctions is sometimes people don't even know what they're bidding on. And the funny thing is like, a person would put something up and he'd be like $50 and nobody bid. And he'd go $10 and somebody would go 10 and then it would 15, 20, and it would end up being 75. And I'm like, nobody bid 50. You know what I mean? Like it would just catch on, and people were paying some ridiculous money for like a couple books that sold quickly for a couple $100 were the first New Mutants books. Like a couple of those were there, so people jumped on those books. Some of the dolls for Star Wars, like not even the action figures, but the dolls sold for ridiculous amounts, like hundreds of dollars. Then I'm going, what are people bidding on these for? And they just get caught up in it. Like you said, they don't know what they're doing half the time. Some guys got amazing deals that just went in there for books that they probably would have never seen that they were looking for forever. I would see a couple guys that I'm like, oh, okay, I could tell he's probably going to be bidding on. I think he's going to be bidding on. And nope, he's just waiting on one book that you never thought he'd be bid on. And it was fun to be in that environment again. And it made me realize how much we're missing out on those types of things. The only thing that was a little weird for me, and I'll be honest, because I'm not that person, I was like mask on the whole time, like trying not to touch a lot of stuff, constantly going and using. I was super scared about that. And there was a lot of people that definitely weren't. So that was the only thing that was kind of weird for me. But I mean, we live in those times. But it was amazing. It was really cool. So a lot of fun. Shout out to Jesse James and Danny for hanging out there with me, and shout out to everybody that came up and said hello, said that they watched. I had a bunch of like I said, 4 or 5 people came up to me. Like you said, Brian came up to me and said hello. I think he was talking to Matt during part of the auction. 4 other people came up to me and said hello, and that they watched the flip side, and a couple of them were like, yeah, we watch every show on the channel. Thank you. You guys are doing good work. And that felt really good. So thank you for everybody that, we say it all the time to everybody that watches these shows and that are part of this community. You're not just people that are watching shows. Like, we appreciate the hell out of you guys. So thank you for saying what's up. That's really cool. So, but I figured I pissed enough people off. Let's get into the market report. What do you say?
All right, let's do the market report. All right. I started Golden Age for DS. So this book, I had seen this floating on eBay for, I feel like, at least a year.
Yeah.
This is an Egyptian seller. I've actually talked to the guy on IG, I think, but this is probably the ugliest copy of this book I've seen in a while. There's a giant chunk missing out of the bottom, like into the cover. There's a chunk on the back missing, like almost somebody like ripped pieces out, and the pages are brittle. I was honestly curious what the bottom was, because this is shy of like a cover missing most of it. The ugliest copy you can find with the brittle pages just makes it so unattractive, and it still pushed $1,000. It really did. There's 92 in the census, and last year a 1.0 sold for $2,450. So it's not that people won't pay for this book. This book was just an unattractive version of this book.
Yeah, I think if he got that slab, I've seen this book. I'm familiar with it. It's brittle, and it's got missing pieces that go all the way into the pages, front and back.
Yeah.
If he would have got this slabbed, it would be a 0.5 blue label, and he would have got probably $1,500 for it.
I just was like, man, I looked at it. I'm like, I might buy it, but it's got to be the right price, and it went a tad higher than I was willing to go on it.
Yeah, I think I was going to offer him like $700 on it, but he had to buy it now on it for a couple thousand for a while.
Well, yeah, you had in that $100 shipping plus tax on it. All of a sudden, now you're almost at $1,100.
And then you got to grade it yourself, and it's like, no. I wasn't going to do it. I love this book. I have 2 copies. I would love to have 3. I had 3 one day, but I would love to have 3 again. I just wasn't going to buy it. It's that copy that's so unattractive, I don't want it. Flowing into another book that you just don't see very often. This one is a book that most people would pass by, but is a mother of a book. This Tales from the Tomb. It's a Dell giant size book. For a while, there was rumors that it was a Cole cover that didn't feel very well. It is now listed as a John Schoenherr cover. There are only 17 in the census, a 9.0 at the top, a 8.0 sold in December for $450. This was a clean ass copy that I kind of wish I had seen prior.
Yeah, CGC used to indicate this as an LB Cole cover, and have since switched it over the last 18 months. Only that's changed. Not super hard to find, but tough. And the ones that do show up are not really in good shape. So that's a good price for a good condition copy of that. It's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, to find it above like a 6.
Yeah, right. I think there's one on eBay now that's like in the 4 range or something, but they're tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big ass book too, and because nobody pays attention to Dell horror, for love of God, why would you? It's It's a surprisingly good cover for the publisher. I got out of sync here. This one. This is another book you don't see for sale in grade at all. A lot of them for sale are always the 3s, the 4s, the 2s. A 6.0 is I'm not saying it's a rare book in 6.0, but it's a rare book to come for sale. In November, there's one sold for $10.30. This was an 1,100 best offer. I did not see it list on GPA when I was looking earlier today, so I'm assuming it was close to $1,000. But man,
that book is a little undervalued because it's a classic for Zeta. That was originally supposed to be a Famous Funnies Buck Rogers cover, but it got published right as the Comics Code Authority went into effect. It's one of the last non-stamped books, but the code was there. And so they didn't want to do the Buck Rogers. So EC took it and sort of redid it as a caveman thing. But that's supposed to be a Buck Rogers cover. He switched it over to this, and it's a classic for Zeta. I had a 4.0 of this. Prices don't move that much on it. I still think it's underpriced for Zeta.
It is one of those books that I'm like tempted to go hard on, but you're like, man, I don't know. There's enough of them graded. I didn't write the census down. There's a decent chunk, but man, there are so many of them are like 4.4, 4.5 and below.
That's what I had a 4.0. It was a good presenting 4.0, but that was like the best I could find for
John, it says it if you look in the sales, it actually did sell for 11. There was no best offer. They just
it must have updated earlier today. I was
it's not on GPA. No, I just used that Control U trick where you pull up the original item, hit Control U and Control F, and then type in tax X, and it'll tell you what the sold price is. You don't have to.
Sorry, what is this magicry you're talking?
Okay, all right. So I'll just take a quick pause. Okay, Okay, so just for those who want to find sales, let me share my screen real quick. This takes 2 seconds. All right, so you go to I'll share this one.
Is he take off your picture real quick.
I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, and I'm like, you're a wizard.
Okay, all right, what I do, Brian?
You're good. Just go to another tab.
I'll just go to a different tab.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the sale, so we'll go back. It shows right there. There's the sale. So you click on it. Then you go to the original listing. See original listing. Okay, so that's the original listing, and you hit Control U, or hold down Control, hit U. It pulls this up. Then you hit Control F, pulls up the little find box up here. Type in TAXEX. And what it does is it finds it, and it'll show the original price on the left, right here,
1,100,
and that's what it was originally listed at. And the next price over, where it says tax exclusive price, that was the sale price, 1,100.
Yeah, that's real cool.
You're a fucking wizard.
we got two new things.
This was not me. That was not me that found that out. I don't remember who gave me that trick, but it bypass you. You don't have to sit there and be like, well, what was the sale price on this, or watch count? It doesn't work, or all those stupid things.
You should all be sending Ben Stein money right now, all of us. I'm gonna just PayPal him some money for that one. Jesus Christ!
I'll tell you, 1,100 for that book. That's a strong price. I still think it's undervalued, but it's starting to move because I remember when I keep an eye on this book, but about a year ago, 6.0 would have sold for like $750.
It was close to 100 a point.
Yeah, Frazetta stuff is on fire, and the high end stuff is really pricey. The low end stuff is creeping up more and more. So Frazetta is good stuff.
I have my own copy that I'll never sell, which is a 2.5 SS by Frazetta.
Nice.
So that you can shoot me if you want to.
I remember when you bought that because I was looking at that and I almost bought it at the same time.
Yeah, it was probably a duke out because John Brown is the man. Linked that one, and I was so happy.
What'd you pay for it, Z? You got to tell us.
It was not
700.
Yeah, it was not anywhere close to what you would think.
It was before it kind of all took off. It was not enough. This one, also Egyptian guy, the Egyptian comic shop. It is listed as a 1.8 with one picture. No back cover, no nothing. This looks like the prettiest 1.8 I've ever seen. I'm afraid to ask what the back cover looks like or what the inside looks like. It was a fairly strong price, but I tell you what, if it presents like that, I understand it. There's a 2.5 sold for $683 and a 1.0 sold for $710. But man, that's as nice as it gets to 1.8. I don't know where the damage is. There's probably like a tenth of a back cover or something ridiculous.
Or the whole everything besides the cover is water stained.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but that's I tried to look at the listing and find more info and I couldn't. So I don't know what to tell you. This is the book I said, sometimes you go with, some of these moderns are going for $600-700 out the gate. This is Marvel Mystery 62. Schomburg cover, 3.5, $600. Now, it sold a little cheap. It was a buy it now. Somebody listed a little lower than they probably could have. They probably could have got closer to $750. But I'm like, this is a piece of comic freaking history. A 4.5 sold last year for almost $900. A 5.5 is listed for $1,000. Man, I understand modern variants, but man, sometimes when you get a book like this, it boggles my mind that some of these things are underappreciated like that.
Yeah, and that one is that's a real cool cover. It's not your wheelhouse World War II cover, and it's later in the run, but it's got the guy coming down with the axe, and it's got the two heads and somebody else with their hands tied behind them and their heads tied down to a chopping block. And as the axe is coming down, the torch is melting through it. It's really cool, and for $600 is a steal for that book.
It's a wicked cover if you really get into it. So I don't want to talk bad about moderns, olds, whatever, but it's just like, man, some of these things are under freaking appreciated. So it's a Schomburg, man, freaking Schomburg. Just buy a Schomburg to put in your collection.
And the 3.5. I mean, that's no joke for a 40s book to be a 3.5. That's legit. That's not like a 1.0 or some restored thing. It has notes, so it's attached and complete and everything.
It's a nice copy. I looked at it because I was like, I didn't see it. I don't look at Golden Age all the time because I'll buy too much and I'll get my wife pissed at me. So I only look for what I'm looking for. But man, that's a nice book. A nice book for $600. This one, I got a soft spot for this book, but I don't think I knew how rare it was until Blizzard Comics has posted a few. There are 60 in the census. Captain Marvel Adventures #1. Only 36 are blue, and the highest unrestored is a 5. I'm going to say that again. The highest unrestored is a 5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's real cool. I have a book sort of that ties into that. It's this cheap-ass book here, but it's a faucet, and the back cover ad is for special edition comics.
Oh, that's a tough one too, my friend.
Yeah, so it sort of ties into that. This is the back cover ad coming soon. It says, "Watch for Captain Marvel in special edition comics." A whole comic books featuring him. So yeah, cool back cover on this restored Dragon Golden Age. So.
I mean, this one is one that is probably a sleeping giant that's slowly coming to life. In September, a 3.0 sold for $19K. This is a Jesus Christ, $19K. Whew. August, a 1.0 sold for $4K. So it's interesting. I think this one probably went for a bit of a steal, or maybe the market softened because the one guy that wanted it went. I don't know, but it's a #1 Golden Age and appears to be rare shit when the highest unrestored is a 5.
Yeah, that's
all
a tough
right. DS, I'm sorry that was all the Golden Age tonight. I'm gonna drag my ass into the foreigns because I'm gonna try and highlight some foreigns because I mean nobody's watching this market, and I'm gonna talk about some stuff that you guys just may not know is happening. This book, you will appreciate it. It is the Mexican edition of Chamber of Chills 19. I have seen 2 copies of this sell on the Foreign Comic Collectors Facebook group in the last 3 weeks, and I have not seen a copy for sale in the last 3 years. I messaged both sellers thinking I was going to buy it. The first seller said I'm not selling, and then sold it for $1,000 to somebody else. It was a rough copy. This one popped up yesterday, and I messaged, and he said, I've already got so many offers I can't talk to you right now, basically. He sold it for $2,100, and it was roughly a very good. And I think, honestly, if he would have auctioned on eBay, he might have got probably close to double that. I think he just took a guy he knew and he dealt with and was going to send him the money cheap and fast. But that is a gorgeous fucking book and a really nice copy for the Mexican edition.
Yeah, and it's a good copy for somebody who wants the book and can't afford the legit one because that's ridiculous. And the color scheme, a lot of times these foreigns have different color schemes and everything. This one's still the black cover, the red dress. I mean, it looks legit. I mean, that's a legit book to own, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the title. The same thing as the Black Cat 50 has a similar version. Yep. And I'm like, I wanted to play, but honestly, when I get to those numbers, I'm like, I'm probably going to go back to the American on that. But man, I think that might be more rare in the long term. We just don't know yet. And I probably would have bought it if the guy would have messaged me back. Let's be honest, I would have figured it out.
You said the Black Cat is similar to, is this the one Nico picked up, or is that a different version?
No, Nico's got the Black Cat 50.
Okay. But yeah. Just like this, is this Brazilian? Is that what this is?
Mexican.
Yeah.
All right. This is one for Brian. This is a 1994 bootleg Star Wars from Russia. $900. I think it's a crazy price. Also, if you're looking, there's a bootleg action figure made for this that matches that Luke Skywalker image.
That's badass.
The comic is wickedly strange. I popped some images and I had to ask the guys because I'm like, tell me more about this because I don't know. It is, oh shit. I thought I saved more images. I only got
I think I accidentally deleted one of yours, Z. I apologize.
It is a 16-page bootleg that tells the entire New Hope story in 16 pages, totally redrawn. This is the first page. You see Leia putting the droid, the disc in the droid, the sand people, and
so this is like Spaceballs.
Kind of like Indonesia is known for redraws, but this is Russia, and it is. I've seen a lot of numbers. One of the guys that's pretty like these guys that do Star Wars foreigns are Star Wars hardcore that have found foreign comics. Like they're not casual fans. This Star Wars thing, like Star Wars action figures, Star Wars toys, Star Wars memorabilia is hardcore. We all know Mike Morello and his stuff. Like these guys are deep down the fucking wormhole, and I think Star Wars is the darkest wormhole of foreign collecting because they love what they love. This book was a $50 book not long ago, and now all of a sudden it's going for $900 because people can't find it. Like it's not that it was rare; they think the print runs 10 to 20K, but it was in Russia. Russia is not an easy market to access.
What year was this put out?
Only 94.
So even that was right as it was crumbling, right?
Yes.
When like that was when like everything was going crazy. It had just the wall had just fell like a couple years before. Yeah. So
yeah, and
91.
But there's the back cover was showing images of like Empire, but nobody has found an Empire edition. Like so we don't know if like they were intending to make one and they didn't, or if there is one that nobody's found.
Did the figure come in a package with it? Do we know? Like a package, like a
no, it's a bootleg figure. Like so, somebody in Russia made a figure based on this comic.
Like, did they package it though, or did they just give it like there was like an unopened figure? Oh, packaged.
$40. Look it up. You can find it. You probably want it honestly for $40.
Yeah.
If not, I'll have Matt send it to you. The guys in the chat were sending it, and I loaded some images, but we kind of didn't have enough space today with all the auction stuff. So I will just say this one was wacky, and when it sold for $900, I went, "What are we talking about, guys?" Because I casually look at the Star Wars stuff. I just don't. It's too much information for my brain sometimes. So, but these guys were like, "Oh," and I went, "What?" I looked at the book, and it literally tells a Star Wars story in 16 pages. Crazy. I have to share this one because to me, this is the gateway drug to foreign books, the Italian 300. It has been selling at 100 to 150 for the last year. This is advertised as a 9.0, I think. Maybe it isn't. It says something in the description about a 9.0. It maybe is a 9.0, but it's a loose 9.0. It's not like a high grade. And it jumped to $250 plus $30 shipping. So that's almost $300 for this book. People are watching. People are buying it. This is to me the barometer. As this book goes up, everything else does. That's it. Well, I've lied. It's not all the foreigns, because this one's sort of a foreign, but it's not. It is a Transformers 113, the UK version, first Death's Head. This is a book collected amongst Transformers folk as well as just speculators. Almost $300 for one listed is very good. Census data on this one is fucking low. I think it's because it wasn't gradable for a while because those UK magazines are too big. But when they got the new case, it's kind of like Deadline 1. It fits now. But 38 in the census, the highest are 9.6 times 2. A 9.4 in May sold for 800, but to show the spread in September, a 7.0 sold for almost 6, but an 8.0 sold for a little under 150. It's one of those books not everybody's watching, but when the right person watches it, goes high. So I'm edging you into the Copper Age because I know that's where a lot of us live. Talked about this book the other week. Frickin' Alf, the stupid seal cover, and said no 9/8 had sold since 2018. I think one of you 100 and some degenerates bought this book because of this. It was 2 weeks ago that a 9.2 sold for $275. We had looked and a 9.6 was $346. One of you sick bastard paid almost $1,000 for this damn book. $830 for Alf, man.
That's what our stimulus money went for. Alf,
just admit it, guys. I won't kick you out of the group, but I'll maybe judge you a little bit. Just tell me who it was.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put raw copies of this on my hunt list now. That's for sure.
Right? In my head, it was like a $30 book, $40. This is getting crazy.
I had that book I've had that book one time. I found it once.
Same with me, and I still have it. I won't get rid of it.
I found it with my brother once, so he got the copy. That's the only one I've seen. I don't know where it lives. So this is a weird one. I only triggered on it because it's a so much fun reprint, like the G.I. Joe 63, but it's of an old Superman book, number 161, which happens to have the death of the Kents in it. I have no idea why they reprinted it. They called it Superman Classic. It's reprinted in 1987. But a 9.6 sold for $225. I'm not sure why. There's not many graded. There's only 6 on the census. If one of you really wants to gamble and thinks it's something, the Lone 9.6 is on MCS listed as a different title for less than that price paid. I looked at it and said, I don't feel that good about it. But it does appear to be a slightly rare book. This motherfucker, I don't even know what to think here. I need Nico to tell me what to think on this one. Promo for Long Shot, which seems to be tied to this spec for the WandaVision, which conveniently has Wanda and Vision on the cover. Only 2 graded. The other is an 8.5. The only sale for this book, this was a 500 or best offer. It sold for $400. I don't know.
Not bad. I like it. I mean, I get it. You don't know, but I think we were just talking about this last week about these Marvel Age books that I love seeing Marvel Age books being collectible. I know a lot of people hate it, but I hope it's, but here's what I will say. I hope it's more for the cover than it is about the first Long Shot stuff.
Well, but I think Long Shot is tied to this WandaVision because Long Shot and Mojo are all about like TV and entertainment, right?
I know a lot of people are getting ready to specking on X-Men stuff like everybody else in speculation. That's where it's at right now. So a lot of these X-Men books are selling for a lot of money, which I hate to say because I want to get more of them. at cheap prices.
I do think this concept of long shot and the cover with Wanda and Vision prominent is a perfect storm, and the fact that there's only 198. If you can find them quick and can get a couple graded, go for it. I don't know the long-term play or not, but it's not a bad cover.
I was just going to say that. It's definitely not a bad cover. I like how it plays off the color and the trade dress and the cape.
It's probably to me more of a $250 cover, but somebody got first to market and fucking won.
Well, the preview market is strong. People are loving the preview stuff because people are trying to go further back and get first appearance stuff that they can, be happy about. So there's a lot of demand for this preview stuff going on. And, I got a half a box full of Marvel Age books, just raws that I just picked up for like 25 cents each. I should go check and see if I have that one.
Well, yeah, I don't discredit them. Just like, man, that's a strong sale.
Yeah, it is strong, definitely.
But it's not a terrible book in my head. It's a pretty cover, a strong concept. But yeah, someday, man, me and my couple Crow newsprint flyers, man, we're gonna win. I had to show this one just because Toxic Avenger is a discussion point. It's had the movie announcement. But strangely enough, last year the low and the high were $56 and the high was $339. We had a movie announcement and it hit $240. I think this book probably already had a strong following because horror movie folks are their own breed. There are 82 in the census and 35 9/8.
It's funny you're showing this because there was a box there that had like 3 or 4 of these in it.
Yeah, the right time to get them. It just is interesting to me that it show that movie news does not move the needle all the time because sometimes those horror fans, if the right person is looking at the right book, will sell crazy money.
And isn't this like a homage to Spider-Man 1? A little bit,
wow.
Right?
I don't know if it was intended to be, but it kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
Video games. Doom. This bad boy. I couldn't find what it actually sold for as $2.99 or best offer. I'm sure it was a little less. This came with a 1996 one of 2 versions. One was a gaming convention. There are 2 graded on the census, and both are not nice condition. Like I think one's a 7 and one's a 5, maybe something in those ranges. The other is from a 4-pack from the ID Anthology game pack, 4 games in it. There are 5 on the census. So it is a pretty rare book for a pretty big video game franchise. And I would maybe be looking for it.
These kind of rare books I love, especially the video game ones, but it was kind of funny because there was a bunch of people in chats that I'm in and friends that have showed me the last week or so that they've picked up really rare books that they didn't know were rare. And they're buying out of quarter bins. Like I think Big Leg picked up some rare Hawaiian.
Oh yeah. That was a weird one.
Book. Like some of these books, if they're cheap enough, just pick them up because you never know what you're going to hit. It could be something like this. It could be like that first Hawaiian, comic that was like self-published. It was. I love stuff like that. So keep your eye out for this stuff for sure.
When Doom, while not the preeminent franchise now in the 90s, was the big dog for a minute. So interesting. And if you like video games, watch the Global Comic Safari episode with the community involvement. One of our friends shows a game with Commodore 64 and other packages with a Spider-Man 1 in it, and he bought a graded edition. Jesus Christ.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen, by far.
I went, this guy jumped down the wormhole. I jumped down the next one and the next one. He is twisted, but in a great way. That's all I got to say on that. Next book. In case you're wondering, this is now $1,000 9/8. 2 sales this weekend for over $1,000. What the fuck? It's a gorgeous cover. My brain, it's like, that's a $300 book.
Yeah, I had 2 9/8 of this that I sold both of them for about $300.
Sometimes our brains cannot wrap what the market is doing because it's moving so fast. But yes, in my head, it's a $300-$400 book.
The Batman 423 is like this too. I had a 9.8 newsstand first print of that I sold for, I don't know, $3.99. That's like $1,500 book. Crazy.
I don't usually show pickups. So I'm just gonna say the foreign book I'm picking up is as many editions of this as I can.
Oh, nice.
Because it is, people are buying it like crack. So sorry.
Z, do it again. Do it again.
Oh,
your picture was on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Many versions of it.
Yeah, those are really dope, dude. Really cool.
Sorry to distract, but I had to throw that out there because, well, shit, I didn't know it was $1,000 book until yesterday. Today, the second one ended tonight, so that is fresh pricing. Monstrous. I only put this on here because I was surprised it's still selling so strong. It, like, you haven't heard much out of it in a while. It did hit a high in November of 824. This is the second print. Still hit 550. Not a ton of sales, but about a dozen, 2 dozen a year. First print still floating around 250. The third print is floating more like 125. When I looked at the 9/8s, almost 600 first prints, 67 second prints, and 35 third prints in 9/8. I don't know if that's a value-driven number or a rarity-driven number. I will let somebody else speculate on that. I just thought it was interesting that it's still selling for that kind of money. We talked about J. Scott Campbell and his best cover. I won't say this is his best cover, but it's his top 5. The frickin' Lizard, the 688 variant from Spider-Man, the one of the few that is not a pretty girl that looks all the same. This guy has maintained value for years and seems to be holding steady. 147 in the census, 35 9/8s, 74 9/6s. 9/8 still going to cost you about $1,200. 9/6s in the last year have sold between $750 and $500. So this is right on par. I don't think this is a book you're going to lose money on because people just love it.
And not easy to find.
No. Is it what, a 1 in 50 in the low print run of the ASM timeline? Yeah. Tough book. I mean, it's
I was expecting to see this. I kept on saying in one of these boxes, I bet you this is in.
Well, I mean, this is in that zone of the Mary Jane and the Delato, right? I mean, ballpark.
Yeah, those are 667. And
yeah, so I mean, a 1 in 50 in this zone is the lowest prints that ASM had. And damn. This one, I threw it in there because it confuses me. All the other variants for this one are selling for under $200 in 9/8. This error variant of the John Boy Myers, which, am I crazy or did the entire run get error varianted? It wasn't just certain copies.
Not just a double cover, though. This is the double cover that makes it crazy, isn't it?
Well, what is the label?
You what?
Is it an error? It's not. CGC's not saying that's a double cover.
No, they stapled one cover on top of the other, but it's not an error. The entire run was wrong, right? It wasn't
just one where the inside cover is different than the outside cover.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a double cover. It's just they have 2 covers. I don't even think it's an error.
Yeah, it's an error of the entire run, but I don't know if you really call that an error because now, there's a John Boy Meyer variant, but that's the reprint that put his cover actually on it. So it intrigued me that this particular book, because people label it an error, is selling for 3 times every other variant of this book. And that seems like silly money to me to be putting in.
Ultra Maximus in the chat is saying it was recalled. It has the 1 in 100 underneath it.
I understand it's recalled, but did anybody turn it in? You know what I mean? People sold that fucker for money and moved on. All right, last one of the day. This is for my friend Drew at Wanted Comics. He posts books all the time and goes, Z, why don't you post my shit on your market report? I tend to avoid best offer because I didn't know how to track it, but now that my friend Stein has showed me, I can include it now. But he had the sales of modern books, making this book approaching the highest priced modern. If not it's real damn close. $14.99 was the marked price. He told me that it sold for $13,000. There was a heritage sale Saturday night for $14,400 once you add in the buyer premium. So somebody moved to Drew and bought this one for $13,000, probably after tax. Still came out slightly ahead of the heritage. As we all know, this is the 1 in 25 Ultimate Fallout 4. It is not the rarest of 1 in 25s, but it is a beautiful fucking cover on a first appearance of a hero that is becoming the superstar of this generation. This book started 2020 at 2K in 9.8, ended at 8,500. The last sale is actually almost 6 months ago in August. So people have been patient. Nobody is selling it. Somebody sold it at Heritage, and Drew, I think, decided to cash out. But people are not like auctioning this book up. There are 158 9.8s and 228 9.6s. They're just not coming to market, man, for as many as there are. People are like, I don't want to sell because so many people lost their ass on selling before. I did put up that a 9.6 sold for 3,800. I truthfully don't know. I don't know, guys. You guys buying, selling? If you had this money, on how much would you buy it?
Selling. I talked to somebody today in chat. He's like, I have one, and it just seems crazy that they're selling for what they're selling for. I go, if you have one, brother, sell that sucker. Like,
man, I don't know. I'm probably one of the biggest pessimists of any of you guys, and I don't get into these high dollar books, but when I try sometimes in parallel with what's happening in the sports card market, and I see what has happened in the last probably 3 months to the Jordan rookie card market.
Yeah, this is fucking Jordan or LeBron.
This is basically very similar to a Jordan rookie, and that dumb thing is so priced out.
40,000, right? For like a 9.0.
It's a $50,000 card as a PSA 9, which is just insane. This is that card. It's not super scary. It's not super rare.
It's a 1999 Pikachu, fucking shadowless, whatever the fuck.
I think that I don't know if it's going to ever be a 20,000. Maybe. Is this more collectible than the Delato 667? There's really nothing going on with Delato 667.
Yeah, you get one of those.
You could have that 9.8, or you could have this 4.5.
Yeah, and I get the buy this, don't buy that argument, but kids today have no clue who Fantastic Four is. They all know who Miles Morales is, and so it's a different. We love I love the old books, but when you're thinking what's going to happen 20 years from now, these teenagers and stuff that have grown up on Miles, that's who they know. And we could have done this 20 years ago with, why would I buy this stupid Harley Quinn cartoon book, but we did. But that was what we grew up on. And once we had the money to buy it, then that's when, so I think that's probably some of the people are probably getting ahead of the game. Like I wouldn't have doubted that this was a $15,000 book in the year 2030. So it's probably faster than what it probably should be, but I don't think it's the wrong investment.
I am sitting like you, Ben. I'm like, I judge myself for thinking about it, but I'm like, if I had one, I might hold. I wouldn't pay $15K, but I'm sitting there staring at the 9.6 going, maybe I want a 9.4.
Yeah. I agree. It's just one of those things that I think that character is so big now. There's no looking back. There's no going back on it's miles for the next 20 years, easily. So
Miles
I don't
is
know.
gonna make Batman his bitch, honestly.
Yeah.
Whoever bought this is look. This wasn't just on a whim or just like
No.
This is a major investment at that price, and the person who bought this is familiar with Silver Age books and other stuff. I mean, they know you don't drop 15 grand on a book like this without knowing what's up in the market, and they must believe that this is a good investment, and down the road it'll be like, you know, modern version of AF-15, so it might pan out down the road. But I just think this is too soon to drop that kind of cash on this book. Will it eventually get there? Yeah, but this is I don't know, that's pretty optimistic investment today on this book, I think. But you know, I never had that much to spend on a book anyway, but if I did, it wouldn't be that. So I don't know.
Well, I will say, I don't know who the buyer is, but I was told that he's a repeat buyer of big books, and it's not somebody fucking going in on a whim.
Yeah, and you know, it's probably somebody who already has an AF-15 and a Hulk 1 and an ASM 1, and they, you know what I mean? They have money.
They've watched the escalation of those fucking books, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, everything's crazy. I mean, $1,000 for a Hulk 340. It's not even a key. It's just a cool cover.
Christ. Yeah,
that is completely not rare.
Right. I mean, they're all over the place. So yeah, I mean, it's just everything is crazy right now. So I don't know. I mean, it seems crazy, but then I see, you know, other books in this heritage auction. I saw that Power Comics 3 go for 12 grand, and the last one a couple months ago went for 4 grand. Tripled in a couple months. I don't understand what's going on.
Mass 2, Punch 12, all that stuff it all goes in excremental or exponential numbers, and you're like, what the hell?
I know. I bought a Planet Comics 1 a year ago, and a 5.5, a 3.5 just sold in that same heritage auction for $7,800. More than 1,000 more than what I paid for a 5.5 a year ago, and now it's a 3.5 going for more. So
it's all going to numbers that we cannot keep up with. So I don't know. Welcome to the new thing. Yeah. Buy what you feel good about, man. I'm not even gonna say buy what you like. Just buy what you feel good about, and you're gonna be happy, because whatever we're buying feels too expensive for me, and it doesn't stop me though. I keep fucking going.
Before we get on to the next part, I want to remind everybody to like and subscribe, and make sure you're checking out the other shows on the channel. Tomorrow night, a really cool episode of the Comic Book Women. If you guys aren't watching that show, please do. It's a really good show. They do a good job over there. They have fun. And they are going to have an interview with Jacob Murray and Alice Lee Barnes from The Eighth Immortal from Source Point Press. Really cool interview. And then they do a little spotlight to birthday girl Jenny Frisson. So happy birthday, Jenny Frisson. We love her over here at Tales from the Flipside. Can't get enough of her, and the Comic Book Women love her too. So they're going to be doing a really cool thing on there. So make sure you guys are checking out Comic Book Women. Also, do yourself a favor and check out the Modern Comic Mayhem crew. They're doing these cool top 10 lists, you know, and not spec books or anything, just fun stuff. And they did top 10 J. Scott Campbell covers last week, and they're this week they're doing the top 10 Amazing Spider-Man 300 cover swipes. So if any of you guys want to, you know, send in a video to them of your favorite ASM cover swipe and why, you can do that. You can send it into Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com, or tag Tales from the Flipside and Modern Comic Mayhem on IG. You can follow both those accounts. That would be cool. So
how many Spider-Man 300 homages are out there?
There's got to be 100.
Hundreds.
I would think there's 400.
More than 100.
Well, some of the there's some of them that are really tough to find.
Yes.
You know, before it got crazy. So
there's like double-digit swipes of that by McFarlane alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he did how much? You know, there's the very next book after this one is a swipe of that 301, and he did all the Spawn swipes of it, and he did other Spider-Man stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
I really like some of them. I like the Tony Moore Venom one that they have in there. That's a really cool one. I know Todd Knock just really wore out his drawing pen doing some of those covers, but it'll be a fun show. So make sure you guys check it out. And again, like I said, if you guys want to send in a video for that show, send it in Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com or tag us on IG. You can use hashtag MCM list or just tag at Tales from the Flipside and at Modern Comic Mayhem. And we'll try and get those on the shows for you guys. So very cool stuff. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, hit that bell, all that fun stuff. Do you guys want to get into any pickups? You guys have any pickups?
I've got a couple, and I think mine's timely.
Well, okay, real quick. Before we do that, I wanted to ask Ben. Ben, do you want to talk about what you got going on and maybe let everybody know about to watch in next week? And or do we want to say that?
No, and actually, I'm going to give one away.
Let's give one away next week, so that everybody knows, or do you want to give it away tonight?
I'll give it away tonight.
You're crazy, brother. You're crazy. All right, guys. Let's give it away. All right. So go ahead and explain it, and I'll put you up, and we'll give one away, too.
Okay. So this is just real quick. So everybody knows that I love sports cards. I love the chase of sports cards. I hate spending money on packs because they're so expensive, and the return on them is bad. People like mystery boxes, but they think that the mystery boxes that they get are garbage. You get a bunch of quarter books, 50-cent books that have absolutely no whatever. So I just kind of decided, you know what, I'm going to do, it's not necessarily a mystery box, and it's not necessarily but it is like a repackaged premium pack of comics. So I will just show. So what I've got here is I've actually packaged these up. I've got 60 of them sitting right there. They're numbered 1 to 60. That's my dog over there. I got 1 to 60. Basically what I'm selling these for, I will be selling on my Instagram. They're going to be $60 a piece. I would say probably 70% of them you're going to get more than your buy-in. There's 60 of them, so 1 in 10 packs will have a slab, the minimum slab. They're all 9/8 and 9/6, so there's 6 slabs available. The cheapest slab is like a $200 slab. Pretty much everything else in them, you get a minimum of 4 books. One's going to be a first appearance. One's going to be an incentive variant. One of them's going to be a second print or for number 1, and then either like a store variant or something like that will be the last. But they basically, none of it's really going to be junk. It's all going to, it's going to be $60 plus shipping. So it's going to be like $66, I think, so shipping should be like $6. So it should be $66. I only have 60 of them. So to do this the first time, the most you can buy is 2, and you get to pick your own number, so nobody can claim that I know or I'm letting my friends buy the ones that are good. I have no idea which. I basically, me and my wife packaged these up today, and I have no idea what's in any of them right now. But I'm going to give one of these away. So whoever. When Brian does his little matrix thing and we pick somebody, you get to pick the number. You're going to be the first one. So you get 1 through 60, and we're going to open it up and see what you win.
How about we do this? I think there's like over 100 people watching live right now. I only see 58 thumbs up on the video. Let's get to 70 thumbs up, and we'll pick somebody. So if we get to 70 thumbs up, we'll pick somebody, and then that person can pick their number, and we'll open. You want to open up live on camera, right?
Yeah, we'll just you may get the worst one that I have, but I would say the worst one that is in there. The books are probably still worth $40 or $50. So that would be the worst one that you could possibly get. There's not going to be dollar books at all. So I just want to make sure. Yeah, I hate the there's not any prints. There's not any of this stuff that's massively just garbage. Well, shout out to everybody. We appreciate it. We already hit the spot, so we're going to give this thing away. All right, so Ben's going to have.
They reacted that fast.
Yep, we hit it.
So that's all we got to do is just give stuff away to get thumbs up.
Hey, listen, man, the muffin wheel is an amazing thing, isn't it? Everybody, shout out to Drunken Chat. Make sure you guys are subscribing. All right, here we go, guys. This is how we do it on Flipside for live shows. It's nice and easy. I just do this. I scroll up and down, and you never know where I'm going to stop until somebody like Ben S says stop.
Stop.
All right, hold on. Where am I?
I don't know.
Right there. Read or die.
Read or die.
Boom. 70.
All right. So, yeah.
Good
So,
comment.
yeah, it was. All right. So all you got to do, tell me read or die. Tell me number 1 through 60. You get your choice, and we'll open it and see what you get.
All right. So let me do this. I'm going to remove this for a second. And just 1 second before he tells me which one it is. Okay.
And yeah, if you do want any of these, like I said, go to my Instagram. It was up on my thing, but it's at the Wall Comics, and just shoot me a direct message, and I'll put you on the list, and we'll figure out what to do from there. And if I will say, if you do win one of the slabs, just take a picture and tag Tales from the Flipside on it, so we can all see what you got.
Read or die. There's only 60. Don't choose 77.
All right, which one does he want? Is he on here? As he said,
He just said
77.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh God.
All right, let's see what we get.
13.
13. All right.
Let's open up 13 and see what's in 13. This is the fun part, everybody. This is what makes it fun. Like, I love watching those pack opening and box opening shows in the sports card world, like Ben is saying.
Okay. Oops. All right. So this is number 13. I have no idea what's in it, but they are sealed, and we will see what we get. I don't know why I'm ripping it. Well, I'm gonna have to repackage it to send it to you anyway. But
well, you got to rip it open it.
Yeah. All right. So I always put painter's tape. I put these in Tyvek. Then I put them in cardboard, and they always have pull tabs. So
we can open it easy.
It's easy open. You don't need a knife. You don't need anything like that. And let's see what we get. Oh, and then I pull tab them here. Again, this is simple. And then they're pull tabbed again. So everything is simple. All right, let's see what we got.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Thunder.
Okay.
I feel bad for Thunder because Thunder, it was right in between. Right in between.
All right, so we've got a Green Lantern 25, First Atrocitus and Larfleeze. It's a good book. A Spider-Girl #1 variant, worth about $30. A Tomb Raider Adam Hughes. And I'm not sure what this is. It's a Joe Benitez Soulfire exclusive, worth $25. So there's about probably $60, $65. So that would have been about a break-even box. So that one's kind of right in the middle. Yeah,
not bad.
But I will shoot me a message on Instagram, and I will. So now you got it. Now there's only 59, and there's still 6 slabs left. So he just helped the odds of you hitting one of the slabs. I will say one of the slabs is an ASM 4 Silk 9/8. There is also a Justice League. Justice League variant, first Jessica Cruz 9/8. It's a $500 book.
Oh.
A Teen Titans Go first Red X 9/6. So those are good books. They're not junk. And like I said, maximum of 2 if you want them. And then just let me know, and I will ship them out. And the slabs will not be in the packs. They will have an insert at the paper of the book that you won, and then you will basically if Seaborn said I'll take all 59. Yeah, actually, if someone were to buy all of them, you would be way ahead. I will tell you that. Just based on what I kind of calculated, you'll be miles ahead. But
Ben's a lazy seller.
I'm the worst seller. Come on. let's be honest. I'm the worst seller on the planet.
You lost so much money that the one show I worked with you at, it was terrible.
I'm just like, whatever. Whatever you want to pay for it, I don't care.
Well, I think it's very cool, and I love the idea of it. So well, let's keep it rolling, and make sure you guys hit up Ben on IG at The Wall Comics. Again, we appreciate everybody in the live chat tonight. We appreciate everybody that watches us on the rewind. And of course, those are people that are listening on podcasts. Again, we are available on all the podcatchers, iTunes, Google Music, all those places where you get all your audio feeds. We're doing our best to put all the shows up there as audio feeds also. So Spotify, if you guys like to listen to stuff at work or on your ride home and stuff like that, you can also just listen to the audio feed. So here we go. Shout out to Newbie Comics, who we were just talking about earlier, who I believe, I don't know if his video is out yet, but he's got an X-Men spec video coming out. So very cool stuff. Newbie Comics is make sure you guys subscribe into his channel. He's a really good person in this community that is doing good content. So again, everybody in the live chat, we love you guys. Keep it up. All right, we ready for pickups, guys?
Yeah, I'm gonna go real quick because it's getting late.
Yep.
We talked about McFarlane. I traded a Norwegian 300 to a fellow in Mexico that was willing to trade me another Mexican because I actually like this one a little better. It's a little more traditional, a little oversized, but very happy to have it because I had several Norwegians and only 2 Mexicans. Showed this on IG, a beautiful 227 Brazilian with the cool brown and orange logo, very Halloween, as my friend Nick L commented. And this is a hella nice copy. So
I was gonna say that looks gorgeous.
Yeah, top of the census are 7s right now, and I think I have one behind me that my friend Rob gave me. So this one's got a shot. Definitely has a shot. I'm going to be showing Brazilian books for weeks, but I'll show a few each time. 2 copies of the first Brainiac.
I love that cover, man.
Oh, I love it too. One has some tape on it, so it's not as nice as the other. It's got some staple tape. The other one is fucking gorgeous, and my friend Victor is finding me some books that potentially, in about 2 years, if you're looking for Brazilian books, won't exist because the guys collecting them have sold them to me. So that's it.
Yeah, so that's Action 242, and then the foreign edition is a Superman title, so that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think they did Action is why. So, I mean, for all the titles they have, they only used a certain percentage of it all.
Yeah, I like it's cool. It's a Superman title on an Action 242. That's real cool.
Yes.
Is that it?
That's it.
Ben, you got anything?
Actually, I'm going to be 100% honest. Pretty much everything, because I was in Akron last week, and everything that I picked up are in these packs. So I'm giving them all away. So I don't really have anything else because I'm giving them to everybody.
Well, did you see this? Did you see this, Ben? Some Wonderworld Comics. If you guys aren't following Wonderworld, make sure you guys are. Dennis has his own channel where he does content over there. Make sure you guys check it out. I believe he just did a CBCS video, or he's going to be posting soon. It's called "What's Degrading." What's Degrading? I think is the channel here. But he just said he will buy 14 and 41 if you haven't sold them, and have you open them live.
I need to. Yeah, I need. Well, and I'll tell you what. I'll mark you down for 14 and 41, and if somebody hasn't already claimed those numbers, then I'll keep them here and we can open them live.
I think we'll close out the show on it.
Yeah. Also, I think we're probably closing it out now, right?
You can shoot a video.
Yeah.
I'll shoot a video or whatever you want to do. It doesn't.
Yeah, we'll just close out the show with it. All right, DS, you got any pickups, brother?
Yeah, I'll show some recent stuff that's come into my hands. I'm not on the show often. The first time I've been on here, so let me just show some stuff I've recently got that's here. I pick this up when I find it in high grade. It's always a good seller.
DC Comics presents
26,
the first appearance of the newer Teen Titans, Cyborg, Raven, all those guys. I love that book, man.
So pretty nice. I think it's like a 9.2-ish copy, so that's pretty nice. I got some books back from CGC just in the last week, so I'll show those off. Really happy with the grade on that. I got an 8.0 off white to white.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Voodoo.
He's going to be in the Doctor Strange movie. I had a 7.0 with it. I sold the 7.0 white pager. I'm holding on to this one for a minute and see where it goes with the movie when it comes out. So that's always a cool book. I had a 9.4 of that book too, but I couldn't hold that because that was just too much money. I got all that. So
sometimes you got to let it go.
I had to let the 9.4 go. This one I picked up at a yard sale, and it was raw. It was not a yard sale, like a storage unit. A guy selling out of that. It was raw, no bag or board, just in a box of stuff. A lot of spine dents. I cleaned up and pressed it, and I went a 9.8 on that.
Young Avengers #1.
So, yeah,
man,
really happy with that. It was probably like 8.0 or something when I got it. No bag and board, just raw. I had that stacking roll where it's not a spine roll, and it had a bunch of dents going down the spine, and it came out beautifully. So 9.8 on that. I actually have this for sale right now.
At DS Comics, guys.
What's that?
At DS Comics PCH, I should say.
Yeah, my it's there's my Instagram. I actually have that on the Shortbox app, but if anybody in the chat wants to hit me up on Instagram, work out a deal, we can. This one literally just sold tonight. I just got the email while we were. I had like five copies. This is the last one. I still have a 9.4 that hasn't sold, but this was the last one I sent in, and it's a newsstand 9.6. I was pretty happy to get that. I bought a stack of these unread store stock, and I got 2 9.2s, 2 9.4s, and this. So this was the best one. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. And then I've been getting priced out on Golden Age stuff over the last forever. So I mean, I got money to invest. I can't find any Golden Age stuff lately, so I found this book. I figure why not?
Yeah, why not?
Somebody else trade you
something. But no,
for all those that are listening and wondering why we just freaked out, he's holding up a Fantastic Four #1 1.8.
Yeah, and it's a 1.8 creamed off white, cover detached, but really presents decent for the grade. I mean, there's no massive chunks missing, a little tanning, but yeah, it's a solid entry level copy. I'm pretty happy to get it, and yeah, I mean, I paid up for it obviously, but I think I got a good deal on it. The funny thing about this, I won it in an auction, so it's not super recent, but recent-ish. I bought this in the auction, and 2 hours later is when they did that announcement about the Fantastic Four movie. So it was like, 2 weeks ago or something like that, maybe a month ago, something like that. But I got it. So yeah, I got the announcement. They did the announcement like 2 hours after I won this in the auction, and then it took some time to get it. So I just got this in my hands recently. So not sure what I'll do with it, but I mean, it's a good book to hold, and whatever.
I'd be displaying the shit out of that book. I don't think that book could go in a box. It'd be like trying to put it like magnets. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, decent looking low grade copy. Thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah,
Can't
that's
go
it.
wrong on that one, man. Can't go wrong.
That's not bad. Not bad. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I got some other stuff that's really not worth showing. I got like a Roger Rabbit #1 I found for $1. I got 9.8 on it.
Well, I saved one book just because I didn't realize I didn't talk about it, but it was the one book that came no bag and board, and I think I paid $20 for it, and it's a Dell'Otto signed Wolverine from, I don't know where it is, but it's a sweet Dell'Otto Panini.
Nice.
Yeah, so one last book from the amazing auction to end up the pickups. And it was kind of cool. So, sorry. One more book.
Oh yeah, it's probably like. I thought it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be something ridiculous.
One more book.
Just one more. My friend just happened to have another Punch 12.
It's the Turner Wolverine, not the U.S. version, but the Panini version. But it's still one of the best covers of all time, in my opinion. And one book that this would probably be the only one I'll ever own. It's so hard to freaking find. So, all right, let's before we get into the last two live openings to end out the show, I want to remind everybody. Drew over at Wanted Comics has been, just a good friend of the channel for a long time, and we gave this book away last week. It's going to be going out tomorrow to, I think it was Patrick that won it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So this is going out to whoever won it. Again, we thank everybody that participates in the giveaways. I just want to remind everybody for the giveaways, if you send in an email to Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com to let us know your address and stuff, tell us what book you won. If you haven't gotten your book, please send us an email to Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com, because there are some books that I couldn't find that I finally found. I think John's box of comics, I have a Silk that needs to go out to him. I just need him to have him resend his address to me. But if there are books that you haven't gotten yet, please send us an email with your address, and always put the book you want to also. So, but this one is the gorgeous one, and this is the Virgin variant from Wanted Comics. John Gallagher is the artist at Uncanny Knack on IG, and I've talked about it all the time. I think it's cover of the year material, if not the cover of the year. Absolutely gorgeous. And this Drew gave us this amazing book to also give away. So at some point in the next week or so on the channel, some show will be giving this Virgin variant away. I think this is like a $200 book, or it was a $200 book during the Hot 10 last week. So really cool gift for a giveaway from Wanted Comics. So make sure you guys are checking out Wanted Comics. They have some gorgeous Star Wars High Republic variants that they're doing that we'll be talking about later in the week also. So, all right, Ben, you ready?
Well, there was like 4 people ahead of Dennis, so I'm waiting for them to, because you're going to pick your number in the order that you. So I have to see what they.
See if they don't.
I got to see what they pick before. Okay. And I haven't heard back from them yet. So, and if you did send me a message, so. If you haven't got a message from me yet, you will, but it'll probably, and you can probably go ahead and tell me your numbers that you want. And then if somebody else picks them, fine, or you can just wait and I can tell you what numbers have been picked.
Very cool.
Yes. So I don't really know. I don't know what Dennis wants me to do with them. But I can send them to him and he can open them, or I can hold them for
next
week or whatever. Yeah. Or I can put them, well, I don't know if we want to open them on the Hot 10, but we can do it whenever. I'm fine with pretty much whatever. But hopefully, if everybody likes this,
explain it one more time real quick before we call it a show, because there's some more people asking about it in the comments.
Yeah, $60 per premium, and I'm calling them premium packs because they're not. This is not going to be garbage. This is not going to. There's not going to be, an X-Men 19 from 1993. There's not going to be any of these quarter books. Honestly, there's very, very, the only like bronze books in there are first appearances. There is like there's one Silver Age first appearance I know that I put in there. It's an old Fantastic Four, so I know that's in there. But most of it's going to be moderns. But it's not going to be, you're not going to just get some random X-23 book that has no significance at all. But
yeah. So if you guys do want them to be opened live on the show too, we will, just let Ben know and we'll open them live on the show. Wonder World Comics did call out 14 and 41 very early, but we'll wait. We'll wait for to make sure.
Yeah. So anybody beyond Dennis will not get 14 and 41.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, guys. We are going to call it a night, but again, I want to remind everybody to please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. You're going to want to know when any other shows drop on this channel, whether it's live, whether it's a premiere. We really can't thank you enough. We also can't thank the people who are making amazing content on this channel enough. Also, they're putting a lot of work into what they're doing, and you guys should let them know how well they're doing. So if you guys watch another show on this channel, let them know how good they're doing. Also, you can always let us know what we can do better, and we appreciate the constructive criticism, and we appreciate all you. Peace out, guys.
Thanks, Dad.